Hello and welcome to 2D4, a live play D&D stream. I am your host and DM, David. I'm here joined by my friends. First off, our host, Nate.
Hi, I'm Big Nate playing Curé Longstrider.
Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel playing Oxus.
Noah.
Hi, I'm Noah playing Vast Moon of the Night Sky.
Michelle.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and I'm playing Mycena. I guess a wood elf, Circle of the Shroom's Druid.
And Connor.
And howdy, I'm Connor. I am playing Mihangul. He is a half-elf swashbuckler rogue.
All right. This is going to be our third in-game session, but our fourth episode, as our first one was our session 0. We last left off after you had all run to what did Michelle call it? She had called it the omelet zone or something.
The
like
egg
that.
drop soup.
The egg drop soup, where you had all witnessed a colossal blue dragon shatter some eggs in its claws and drop them amongst the wasteland. Going out to investigate the eggs themselves, you had found that they were they were going to be eaten by just a pack of wolves that was nearby. Swiftly defeating the pack of wolves in your examination of the eggs to see if anything remained of them, Oaks' pack began to shake rather violently, and we left off with the marble-textured white egg that he had in his bag hatching, and that is where we start off.
So I believe Moon and I were both quite taken with the dragon, greeting it in Draconic.
Oh, yes.
Curé's just in awe. It's cute. It's a baby dragon. It's literally fresh. It's cute. She seemed no hostility from this little creature.
Oxys, would you mind either introducing us to your friend, or what is this dragon?
I mean, you've seen it as long as I have.
But why do you have it?
Because I found it.
As he does hold up the dragon, you can see that along his, which hand did you size it to be? Right, left hand.
Yeah.
You can see along his left hand, his parts of his fur and the skin underneath have been completely frozen ice white. What does it look like, Daniel? If you want to describe that bit.
So, what was it? Ice white from the palm is the dragon's head. Curving through the webbing to the back of the hand is more of the body, the wings, following down the wrist and then back around to the interior forearm, and kind of down about a quarter of the way is the remainder of, the dragon's tail and lower portion. So it just kind of spirals from palm to back of the hand, down to the wrist, back to the forearm.
So his already sandy blonde fur has been bleached even whiter. But you sit there kneeling with this little baby dragonling in your hands.
I just came upon it one day in the mountains.
Interesting.
Screams of a newborn baby dragon.
It sounds so real.
Where'd you get these sound effects, David?
I don't know. This mod is expensive.
I hear it's still in development too.
Had a 9-month loading time.
And even then, it's not done. It's still got like another,
18
at least
years
18
of
years.
firmware updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oaks is just sitting there with the dragon, kind of just staring at it, watching how it acts.
I think
Not
the
really
little
sure
one.
what to do.
I think the little one's adorable. How long have you had him?
3 minutes.
Well, the egg I think she means.
Roughly a little over a year.
And you say you got it in the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, how did you happen upon it? Was it just like laying about?
Well, I was out hunting and found a nest I thought was bird, but when I got to the actual egg, it was quite larger than the normal eggs I was seeing around there. And so when, I took it and grabbed it, something inside me just said to protect. Just an instinct or something. But
Right.
grabbed the egg and kept it with me since then.
Right. Well, I'm absolutely fine with keeping him around, but one little tiny bit of a problem is I don't know how well he's going to be received when you bring him back into town.
Well, I mean, I imagine he would still fit in the. I gesture to the basket.
Well, where would he stay?
With me?
In the basket.
Well, I kind of set him near the basket and was like, "Can you go on in, little guy?"
This will be your first animal handling roll.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Ooh!
Oh my goodness.
You can
I'd say that
count
works.
this you can count this as you can count this as 2 successes towards the thing.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Seeing as your first one ended up a crit. Holy jeez. Alright.
Can't go
Yeah,
wrong there.
without hesitation, you watch as Oaks sets him down, and you all realize you've been so intently focused on this dragon that now you look down at the ground as he sets him down, and you are all standing on like a flat sheen of ice covered in snow. And as you all look around, it looks to be for like at least a quarter mile in every direction. There is now this light, faint snowfall and the sheen of ice along the ground. It's not enough to slip, but it's enough to be like you step on it and it'll crunch audibly beneath your feet. But it's noticeable. It was just flat, arid wasteland, and then all of a sudden, there's just fucking parts of ice and snow everywhere. But it does, as you set it down, it does quickly, like front legs grab up onto the basket, and it just slithers its way head to tail all the way back in, and even with like the hook of a claw, just like grabs like the wicker top of the basket and just pulls it down over top of it and just sticks his head up.
It looks like he likes it in there.
Very much so.
Daniel, you get a connection in your brain that says entirely positive things. It doesn't say yes or no or anything like that. You just get like the feelings of just positivity, just yes, good, this type of feeling.
And I try to send back the same feelings.
You can, and you do.
Yeah.
And you feel they are received. And he slowly sinks his head back into the basket.
I now have a dragon basket.
I've got a couple of questions.
I have more than a couple.
Is it wrong to pick up dragons in a field?
Shame on you.
Well, several questions. The climate of the island that I came from, one, it's always humid, probably. So what's all this stuff around us? I've never seen anything like it.
You said there was snow?
Yeah, ice, like a thin layer of ice and snow.
Can I make a snowball? Is there enough for that?
Yeah, there's enough for that, yeah.
Cool. Like, it's snow. And I just haphazardly lob it over towards Kirei.
I'll leave that up to you, Nate. You should just take a snowball in your face.
She'll try to catch it.
It's like that light pitch the dad will toss to his like kid learning baseball to first off. Like, will he catch it? When's it gonna hit him? Let's find out.
She'll try to catch it.
I imagine Kiri goes to put her hands up to try and catch it, and the snowball just goes right through the hands. It like hits her hands, but like the rest of it just goes through right into the face. So it's like,
Expecting something solid, but it just goes through completely.
Nah.
Curie's just astounded. It's water, but it's solid, but it's not solid.
Like, you know what ice is. Like, that's something that you understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have mages that'll magically create ice out of the water. So like, you know, like the rich fancy people like to have ice with their drinks. Or sometimes whenever your family would go to like one of like the dining establishments, you could get ice and drinks.
So that little guy, he made all this?
Moon,
I guess.
if you want to make, actually Moon and Mycena, just because the two of you are the two of you, if y'all two would like to make history checks, if Moon would like to make a history check, Mycena if you want to make a nature check.
Yeah.
As she's licking the ice.
Where's my history?
It's just like, I'm stuck.
Oh, jeez.
Let the 20s roll.
Moon, you get from like your knowledge of sources, it's like dragons weren't something you particularly studied too much. Like, yes, they interested you, I would imagine, but they weren't like your prime focus of study. You would know that generally, when it comes to dragons, they can change the terrain around them. You're not too sure about what like the terrain being changed around a dragon being born or anything. You're not too sure about that. Mycena, you would know. Because there is a dragon that lives in your forest that
Lit. Hold on. That's really cool.
there is a like a little, you would know, and this is going to be like lore for the forest. There is a copper dragon that lives in her forest.
Oh, lit.
Yeah,
Are dragons friendly?
depends
Out of
on the
curiosity.
color. Depends on the color, generally speaking.
Okay.
With that nature check, I'll tell you that you know that chromatic dragons, so colors of the rainbow, tend to be evil, and colors of metal tend to be more good lining.
Wait, what colors are little dude?
White.
White. I mean, okay. Yeah.
He falls under the chromatic, the rainbow boys.
Rainbow Boy Squad.
But you said they're evil.
They tend to be.
Oh.
They tend to be.
But he's just a baby.
What is evil?
It's a killer, baby.
Well, then you get into the whole nature versus nurture argument.
What is evil?
But no, with that 24, you would know because in like your like travels and stuff, you had found this dragon, like the copper one, in your forest, and it is a younger dragon as well. I would say somewhere along the lines of like maybe 200 years old, maybe.
Oh shit.
And you would know that the stories that your people would tell were that when this dragon was born, it changed the landscape around it, around its birth, like around its site of its birth, and since then it has tried to make that place home, but the more it stayed there, the more powerful the effect of its change is, and the more widespread it had become. But you would know that it directly affects. A dragon being born is a powerful thing, as is a dragon dying.
Oh, okay. Would I have been there when the dragon first started affecting the environment, or no?
Not when it first started affecting the environment, unless you're over 200.
I never did decide on that. It's fine.
That's up to you.
I'm gonna say nah, because
Right.
I don't know. Sorry.
But you're fine. Don't apologize for that. But
Okay.
no, you weren't around when it first started happening. These are just stories that you've been told throughout, like your family or other kin that you find in the forest.
So, Mythena chimes in. Oh, fascinating. I haven't seen this, like, in person. I have only heard stories about this. Apparently it's a big deal when dragons are born. They change the environment, and the longer they stay, the more powerful or more apparent the changes are. And continues to lick the ice, because I'm excited about snow. But I also know that this dragon is a chromatic type, and those tend to be not so friendly. So try to raise it right. Hopefully we can be good influences. I don't know.
Oh yes, the D&D Adventure Party being good influences.
It can happen.
Oxys, what are you going to name it?
I didn't think that far. I wasn't really sure it would actually hatch.
You all of you get this sense in your head that it's like trying to form words. You get like the barest form of have name.
I think it already has a name.
I guess I don't name it.
Can I speak to it?
Michelle.
No? No?
Omelet, no.
His name is Omelet.
His name is not Omelet.
I
kind of like that though.
I have spoken to the dragon.
Yeah, I'll kind of open back
get
up
him.
the basket.
And Draconic, Moon's just gonna inquire and be like, "Go on, little one."
Just kind of open the basket to where you have the windowed view inside to it.
Wait, can I see him?
I mean, if you're looking into the basket, I'd imagine you could.
I'd look into the basket. I want to try and communicate telepathically with it. Is there any way, because it can't speak, is there any way like it could form like an idea of what its name is?
I would say yes.
Would it know how to do that?
It can speak better in terms of like thoughts, feelings, and ideas in better than words at this point in time.
Would my telepathic
Yes.
speech be able to? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so I don't have to cast my...
You can if you want to. But you'll
Can
be
I
speaking
tell that
in-
you're
in the
speaking
same-
telepathic to something, Moon? Or is it
I'm
just like
gonna-
completely unknown to anyone else?
No, I think. I know Moon's already spoken to Kyrie telepathically.
You haven't spoken
and
to me
to Mahongal.
telepathically, so I have no
And to
clue what
Mahongal.
anyone's
And to
doing.
Mahongal, yeah. So you just see Moon just staring at the dragon, basically.
I would say like you wouldn't know that Moon is telepathically speaking to the dragon, but if the dragon were to speak back, everybody would know. It doesn't know how to control its telepathy to be solely to one person at this point in time. You get these images of a blizzard. You get images of of a person that has no like overall defining features other than being like a large male humanoid walking side by side with this dragon through the blizzard.
Is it a baby
You
dragon
s-
or a larger dragon?
It's a larger dragon in this image.
Okay.
You see them cresting a mountaintop in this blizzard and looking down on a valley with a torches army laden, ready to lay siege to a city. That you watch this figure climb aboard this dragon and then take off towards the army. That's what the name that you get.
The banners. I'm assuming the army's flying banners or flags of some sort. Would I be able to tell what army it is?
Sorry. I was just going along with you. No, it's not. They wouldn't have banners.
Oh, okay.
This seems old.
Okay.
At least all of like the
So
armor and stuff that you-
not like we're about to just be hunted down by a big man flying on a dragon. Okay, that's what I was.
It was a white
curious about.
dragon.
Gotcha. Okay. Moon's gonna look back over to Oxus. It seems that this dragon has lived before and was reborn into and points this little one.
You all would get only like slightly negative feelings, and then you would hear the words memory, others.
I'm
Interesting.
not sure what to make of that.
I'ma just let the baby be a baby.
Sounds fair.
Moon's gonna
Ask.
You're muted.
Moon's just gonna give him one of the smoked fish that he has.
Okay. You'll just grab it by the tail and drag it into the basket.
Yeah.
His current den.
Yep.
It is
His
his
lair.
lair.
His
It is
lair.
his lair.
Basket lair.
Yeah, homie, I would.
That was actually going to be my second question, was how do we feed them? But looks like you took care of that.
I mean,
With food.
No, I thought
will
we were
say-
going to feed them sticks. Of course with food.
I will say Curie is a quite accomplished hunter. She pretty much took care of, all our needs on our journey. But anyways, what was the lady's name again? I forgot it.
I wrote it
I
down.
forgot
Her
it.
name is
Colette.
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 Colette. What's her reaction to all this? David.
She is she's watching intently, and she doesn't seem any more or less interested than any one of you. Just sitting here in awe of the birth of a dragon.
The blue one. Is it still visible or no? Is it long gone?
It is crest the mountains to the north.
Okay.
Which I will go ahead and drag y'all back to the big map.
Big man.
Big map.
Big map.
It
Once
has
it-
crested those mountains up here.
Okay. So. Doesn't look like. Speaking to the dragon, I saw a large individual, male or female,
There's a masculine figure.
man with a large white dragon who I'm assuming was this one at some point, or this one was at some point. Again, pointing to the dragon, or basket. I say we protect it and learn from it. Yeah. Don't die.
Was this all in your head or is this out loud?
No, this is out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, Moon doesn't know what to make of it, but he's just like, protect it to study it, and he won't tell you that, of course, but he's just like, we should, observe it.
Protect it, I can do.
As will I.
Can I touch it?
I look at Oxus.
I look at Oxus.
I look at the
Well, 'cause-
dragon.
I've been standing like interposed between you originally.
Yeah, I'll see if the dragon wants to, like crawl out onto my arm. Kind of like, you wanna come on out?
You just like slowly like peek its head out of the basket. Sneak back in, pull its head back out, and you'll watch as they like just the bones of the fish now just get thrown out as he crawls out. He'll crawl up your arm specifically, Oxus, and end up like trying to climbing up your arm on the armor and just like slip every now and then, but he'll eventually get up to your shoulder and just like wrap himself around your neck and stuff and just sit there.
Moon will just kind of like stretch out a hand. Wait, pull back, pull out another fish, stretch out the hand again. Fish extended.
He'll grab it, and then like the muscles in his jaw haven't like fully like latched onto it yet, so he's like trying to fucking this, and he drops it, and he immediately jumps off of Oxus's shoulder, just to the ground, and just onto the ground, and just starts devouring the fucking fish.
Moon's gonna continue to just kind of put his hand out and try and touch it. And
Oxus
He doesn't react.
Yeah, just sitting like right over him, basically.
Moon's
You're almost
touching the
having-
dragon.
Yeah.
He's too busy eating, not gonna react.
Moon's just gonna like pet it lightly, just like for like 2-3 seconds, and then just pull away and be like, "That was nice."
Scales are a lot softer than you thought they'd be.
Was it cold at the touch at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Freezing. Like, it was one of those cold where it's like, you don't feel nothing on you. Oh god, it's fucking freezing. Like, immediately numbing the nerve tips.
Had a nice neck cooler for a second.
Yeah. A little Frogger towel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the thing,
although-
Oxus and Curie are probably the ones that can hold them the longest because of the fur.
exactly. That's what I was.
What about Moon?
Well, yeah, but you have you try to touch with the pads.
Ow, so what?
You could probably hold them, yes.
You're,
but
you're a house
you
cat.
touch
Your
with-
fur's a lot thinner.
No, he's got hair like a lynx. He's got thick coat.
Yeah.
Thick coat be Moon.
Yeah.
But like you were touching him with open pad, so that was good to freeze.
Eh.
Well, because I pictured Curie as like a snow rabbit.
In the middle of a jungle.
I mean, I didn't really think about that. I just
Magic.
We live in a world with dragons and floating rocks. David,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Like,
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I essentially imagine Moon as a black Maine Coon.
okay, so
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be the best way to put it, I think.
So, I guess this is an interesting way to meet y'all.
I mean, I'd known about the little one, but you didn't mention anything about him hatching.
I didn't think you would.
It's not a race, Mahangi. Let's not fool. I knew it first. Good on you.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I knew it first.
Well, he knew it second then. Like, semantics.
I mean, someone else actually knew it second.
Okay, big guy knew it first. You knew it second. He knew it third. I guess
I'm not sure how
everybody
many
else-
people actually knew of it. I killed 4 that did.
4 dragons?
No, 4 people.
Oh,
They were attacking me.
for the dragon?
Yeah. Well, when I found it, I had to make sure what it was.
Where did you find it, Oxus?
In the mountains.
In the mountains?
In the mountains south of here.
These mountains or these mountains?
In the mountains north of Havenshour. But
Okay.
not into the range north of Almond's
How
Throat.
did that dragon kill all
Okay.
of the eggs? Was it like their rival?
But so I asked someone what exactly it was,
Yeah.
and once they identified it, they just said it's something really special and just a few other fancy words. Then offered me a lot of money for it, but I declined. A little later, 4 people showed up, tried to take the egg from me, but it did not go as planned for them.
The person who intended to buy it from you, were they among the 4 of you that attacked you?
I don't remember. It was dark.
Because if they weren't, that means people are still going to be hunting you. Thus, by association, they're going to be hunting us. I take it.
I would assume that anyone smart
Oh.
enough to be able to recognize what a dragon egg is wouldn't be among the party sent to capture the egg.
That's fair. Okay, well,
Hasn't been a problem since.
Moon's just gonna point to
I
Colette
must
and be like,
dealt
"Was it
with
her?"
Point to who?
Colette. He's just gonna be like, "Was it her?"
No.
I tried
No.
to buy it from. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't not have an interest in a dragon, but I'm not gonna sit here and send people out to come and take it from you. If I wanted something from somebody, I'd go and get it myself. I'm not to send anybody out. But I'm not gonna lie, that thing's beautiful, but I'm not gonna try and take it from you.
Like I said, hasn't been problem since. So, you are 6th person to know.
I would say so. Aye.
So what now?
Meat pies?
David, just making sure that you saw chat in roll 20.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I was waiting for this RP interaction. I would get to that. So this is somewhat common knowledge, as the dragons themselves are known throughout the world. Everybody here would know that there are only allowed to be one of each dragon color on the planet at one time. If ever another is born of the same color that one that exists, depending on the dragon's color, the elder might try to come and kill them or come and teach them before they themselves pass on. But at any given point in time, there are only allowed to be one of each dragon color on the planet.
Uh-oh.
Have we heard any hearsay of a living white dragon?
Oh yeah.
If anybody who wants to or who is interested can make a history check.
Yes.
Big brain.
Oxus is a little bit is a little busy looking into dragon. and Mycena's got her face stuck to the ice. Mihongo's sitting there trying to like pull her head off of the ice.
Oh, he would just rip the tongue off.
No.
Oh no.
Moon, you would know
Yeah.
that of all of the books about dragons that you've ever read,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that point to the most knowledge about dragons would point you back towards the Red Library that would have more knowledge than the ones that you've ever read.
Back in Feldspar?
No, the Red Library.
Or the Red Library down south.
down
Over here?
there.
Okay.
The premier point of knowledge on the continent.
I feel like if we want to discover more, we should probably head south. But that's would take some time
Oh, yeah.
to get to the Red Library.
Well, not only that, but the two main routes south would be through David, what's this pass called? And Dwarven City, and the dwarves aren't too keen to allowing people through, and
This
the other
is,
way
yeah,
is
I
quite
think
dangerous.
that's the pass itself is called the Titan's Nape.
And the Titan's Nape is quite dangerous from what I've heard.
So we go.
Where are we going and why?
I mean, we came the same way
Mm.
Cutie and I came.
Moon
met
wishes
with
to go.
Mycena.
Moon wishes to go to the Red Library on the southern
I mean,
continent.
has Big Dream Man given us any other instruction apart from meat?
Meat.
Yeah, meet and spread the word of the impending doom.
Oh
We
yeah.
We're just
Apparently,
gonna look over and be like, "Doom's coming."
Great. So glad that that's where we're headed with this.
I don't know what that means. That's what we were all told.
It
maybe
unrelated to the dragon, I believe.
maybe since we're all here, we'll get to New Dream.
The five of us met in some sort of dreamscape. It was black, void. There was this elf who claimed to be one of the heroes of old.
Yeah, does the name Adric mean anything to you, Colette?
Make a history check.
He told us of
Oh,
Hold on. I
That's what I was
have.
told.
I have. the
she's like,
Find the character sheet. Go.
No, it's on my fucking phone. Shit. What is my fucking history?
she's the mistress Adric was talking about.
I don't think he was proficient in history, your original character.
Well, they made. Yes, it was.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, you know what I only had him as history so he could have his recipes memorized.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Once the little dragon finishes eating the fish, Oxus is gonna try to pick him up and like cradle him, where like body kind of draped over the arm, legs kind of just to the side, like you would hold a cat almost.
Nate, would you give us an example?
Yes. Come here, Bean. Nope, I can't do that right now. She is feisty in playing, so unfortunately, I cannot.
No calm cat, only energetic.
She is cracking out right now, playing with the kid. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Only
Come here.
spaz.
Come here. Come here, Bean. Yes, come here. Haha. I almost had you.
That's a 24.
Yeah.
No, the name Adric, not much, but a figure reaching out through people's dreams, that I do know. Can you describe him for me? And you don't have to go through like the whole business of describing him, but you do.
Yeah,
And,
he was He was an elf.
I'm gonna just
Plate. He looked like a paladin of some sort.
dancing lights just form a thing of Adric just there, so I can choose a vaguely humanoid form. I think with it.
I mean, you can choose a vaguely humanoid form, but I think it's like androgynous and shapeless.
Wow. Just
This is my world. Excuse you.
True.
it's
You can-
spitting
you
image.
It's like it's not a spitting image, but you can make images that like vaguely resemble people. You just can't do fine details. Not yet,
Okay.
because you're only the fucking.
Do you not have minor illusion?
Nah.
You could also
Who needs that?
you could also using your telepathy project an image that you know.
Oh, I do have minor illusion. I'll just minor illusion it. I thought
Yeah,
I
it's
did.
like a hollow thing. For some reason, I don't see him in that black armor. For some reason, I see him in like a white and silver with gold. I don't know personally. I have an idea of who might though. If you want to come back to town, I think I know somebody who might know more, at least more than I do.
All right.
Feels bad to leave all these wolves out here. It's good meat, but I need a drink as well.
If you want to take them with you, I'm pretty sure there are more than enough skinners and tanners in town that would take them off your hands.
Very much so. And then a drink afterwards.
Or a drink now, and you watch as she pulls like an actual like giant, like a full-sized crystally green bottle out of her bag and just pops the cork. You just start going for it.
We're still out in the open. Is that the best idea?
Kira is already reaching for the drink.
Yeah.
She loves her alcohol, so she's reaching towards the drink and
Hand to
before the hand reaches, how much does this drink cost me?
this one. Nothing. We're not in the bar.
She grabs the drink and just starts drinking it.
Make a con save. Ooh, you are drunk almost like within like your first few chugs of it. It is potent.
Guys, this drink is phenomenal. I've never had alcohol like this before.
Because they give you fucking swill wherever you come from.
Not in Feldspar. No, we have nice things. More, you know, what would we have in Feldspar? Wines and ciders? I imagine, given the tropical climate. Some goshas.
Did you hear him?
Mm-mm.
I know.
Oh.
He just screams.
Meanwhile, while Kiri's getting shit-faced, Oxus is seeing if Mihango would like to touch said dragon.
Okay.
And I do. Cautiously.
Oh, cool.
The dragon.
Ugh.
Wow.
I'm also going to switch arms since it's getting a little cold.
For those of us, or for those who can't see what's going on, our DM has brought his baby into the chat.
Yeah.
He's still staring at that sword.
He's probably getting him a bottle before he goes off to bed.
Moon's gonna ask for the bottle from Kire.
You gonna ask to do what?
Just kind of take a swig from the bottle.
If
It's
she can't
my
handle it,
bottle.
I'm not touching that.
It's my bottle, you can't have it from me.
Wait,
I believe it's her
my
bottle.
The lady gave it to me.
Besides, there's enough to go around. It's not gonna end. Give me this.
Fine, here's the bottle.
Moon will just take a swig, just a quick little swig.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take it. You take your drink. Make a con save.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, even one, homie. But Kiri just says she went for it.
It's some potent stuff.
But you're
But
able
Moon
to
takes
hold
like a champ.
champ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, 23 on both.
You would know. You would see that after you pull the bottle away, it's like as much as she drank, Kiri drank, and you drank. This bottle is no lower being full than it was when it was handed.
Which catches my
boo.
attention.
Exactly.
Moon's gonna just like
I'm dead.
Maybe not. I'm probably a bit distracted by the dragon.
Moon's just gonna kind of like turn it upside down. She's gonna let it pour out.
And she doesn't stop you. It just goes.
I imagine Curie's like,
Curie's like,
doing?
what are you doing? Don't, it's a waste. And she doesn't want to drink it, but she wants to drink more, but I don't think she can physically drink more of it, and she's gonna get like on her hands and knees and start like getting close to where it's drifting.
Just underneath the bottle.
Is Mycena still
I have-
licking? Is
I have a
Mycena still
couple-
licking the ice? Because Moon's just gonna like take drop her splash on that.
I have a couple empty flasks, like little clay flasks. I'm gonna
Perfect.
fill one up real quick.
Oh yeah, Moon will give you some. Colette, is this? This doesn't stop.
As long as the barrel back in the bar doesn't get empty, no.
Oh, interesting.
Take a look at the bottom.
Moon's gonna look at the bottom.
Yep. Gold runes etched around the edge of the bottle with one stamped in the direct center. It looks like an altered version of a like teleporting spell that links two places permanently together. So that you can imagine that there's one in the bottom of a barrel in her bar that links to this bottle. So as long as that barrel stays full, this bottle will too.
Would I?
I definitely take note of the bottle.
Oh, would I be able to like? Can you teach this to me later?
I mean,
talking to Colette.
once again, I'm not the one that made this. I'll be taking it to the same person who knows more about the dragons anyway.
Did they make this?
Indeed.
Are the runes draconic in nature?
Yes. They are pure arcane magic. Say good. Say night night.
Rip headphone users.
Yeah, sorry, headphone users.
Say bye.
Aww.
Bye, buddy. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay, Moon's just gonna hand the bottle to like, I don't know, somebody. He's gonna give it back to Colette.
Oxus, make a perception check.
We'll
Sorry?
make a perception check.
Oxus, make a perception.
Oxus will make a perception check. I got dragon in hand though.
You look down quickly, not quickly enough, as Dragon has like crawled down your arm and down your leg and is trying to lap up some of this on the ground.
Oh no.
No.
I will say Moon did have his hand turned upside down for a long time, so there's probably a good amount of it just kind of poured out.
You know, if it was any less potent, I might say that it would freeze from, the dragon's area of effect, but not this potent of alcohol.
Oxus is just kind of going, try to pick it up and come on,
Okay,
I'll get you some water here soon.
Curie Moon, y'all's sinuses are very clear now.
Moon's just through both nostrils, just big sniffs. It smells like dirt.
It doesn't smell like pollen like your fucking jungle. Bro.
I mean, even then, Moon kind of enjoyed that, but for the most time, he stayed inside. So
Yeah, but now you can breathe. Anybody who had breathing problems that took a
it smells
drink.
like smells like dirt.
Yeah.
Smells like dead wolf.
What time is it?
You had left somewhere around, like, I want to say close to like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it took you like, I was like a quarter mile out of the town that this was.
Yeah.
So like I said, when I said that this stretches for like a quarter mile in all directions, it almost reaches the city. The snow and ice.
Okay.
So probably not going to be able to hide this.
No, we just say weird magical anomaly.
There was
Also
a white
this-
egg. Wasn't
also
there a white
this.
egg that fell with the blue?
You can just say it was the eggs that crashed and caused it.
That's what I was thinking.
Also, I have this though, and I hold up my left hand.
You just say you dipped it into an egg.
You might, but that's a little bit too intricately designed for dipping in an egg.
His
Look at it, there's a
paws are way
dragon,
too
wings,
big, aren't
tail,
they?
and everything. Huh?
His paws are way too big for any gloves I might have, right?
We do have. Well, hold on, I've got something.
That was
She
a question
pulls
for
out-
David, but
Yeah, well, Colette's answer. Right, I think I've got something for this. And she pulls out what's literally just like a big old roll of ace bandage.
That will work.
There you go.
Just roll.
Wrapping
Just
it up.
roll. Wrap it up.
Like a UFC fighter.
So I got
Um,
bit by a wolf.
I was about to say yes. One of the wolves bit you up pretty badly. We were able to patch it up though.
Right, so we're gonna head back to town.
I think so.
As you're a good like 2 feet taller than her. Hey,
Moved up about a quarter of the ace wrap.
Daniel's tall.
It truly is a fantasy world.
And you bulked up. Wow.
In my dreams, this is what it's meant for.
Who's gonna lead the
like-
drunk rabbit back?
Moon will assist you, Kira.
I'm imagining
Well,
Curie's trying to play the biggest game of drunken rabbit hopscotch using her rabbit bounces.
Moon's just like, no.
Oh, I can do it. I
It's
can,
like the moment
I can do this.
Curie jumps, boom, and then Moon immediately it like sprints next to her. It's like, stop moving, boing, boing.
Moon's just gonna like do a little pretty light show in front of Kira, trying to get her attention. And just being like, follow the lights.
In her stupor, she would be distracted enough to follow the lights.
Yeah.
You eventually make your way back to
Just-
Almondthorpe.
Just
Hey,
rape girls. It's like,
On the way. Hey, Mihongil.
What?
You should throw a snowball at Kire.
Picks up a snowball.
What was that? Was another dragonborn?
no. There.
It's
Moon's
no
just
way.
gonna like brush the snow off of Kira and be like, don't worry. Kids being
It's
kids.
stuck in one of your ears, making its way down into into your ear.
Just starts
Moon's just
twitching.
gonna like
It's
tilt
so
her head and just be like,
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
What?
wait, what? I missed it.
You said kids being kids.
Oh.
One of Mahongo's flaws that I put is he blows up with the slightest insult. So I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Hey, look, he's the noble.
Okay, Oxus was laughing right as he said it. You're fine.
Yeah, that works.
Definitely not me typing up different words related to ice and stuff into
I
translate.
sent you one.
Where? DM'd it to me? or-
I believe so.
So where are we going?
Rhyme scheme, the rapping
I don't know,
ice
we're-
dragon.
We're back into Almondthorpe.
Spits ice cold bars.
You made it to Almondthorpe. I think the guards let you in, but they're all asking you questions like, "Well, we saw you all run out there, but what happened?" It's like we thought we saw wolves in the distance, but then all of a sudden it just like flash froze.
No, so the dragon that flew dropped some, I don't know, magical, eggs or something, but I think there was something within the eggs itself that after the fight with the wolves had a reaction. And so after fighting the wolves, and you're just gonna look at Oxus, point to his hand. Yeah, I don't know. Weird magic.
No, his hand's covered.
You just pointed at my rap.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the wrap. I'll just be
Alright.
like, weird. I don't know. We'll take care of it though.
We were able to mostly take care of his
He's-
wound out there. It'll take
He's
time
had
to
a
heal.
few drinks.
I've had one.
I've
She's
had the
had-
drinks.
She's had drinks.
There was eggs and magic and boom and wolves and yes, all of that.
Probably some ramblings about
We're
a
going
dragon.
to go get them
We
food.
tried to like pass off as the blue one that flew overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Dragons. What?
Oh, listen, I just got up the fucking wall, mate.
I-
You just take care of her. She's too drunk to be walking around alone.
Oh no, yeah, I got her.
I'm not
And
drunk
we got
enough. I can
them.
get drunker.
Okay, no.
So it's good. Colette will be like, right, Hayden, just leave the girl alone. We just got done fighting a shite ton of wolves and then, well, had a bit to drink. We're going back to my bar anyway, so we won't be out in public for too long. Right, right then. Just be careful. And they let you in.
Okie dokie. I imagine Curie's just gonna start singing some shanties, or just some, like Jaw's entry and like drinking songs, and Moon's gonna kind of like softly join her. Just be like, yes, yes, yes.
Old hunting songs, drinking songs that her family and town all revel in.
Whatever the Harangon equivalent to shipping up to Boston is.
Word for word, it's just shipping from Boston. That's it. No.
What is Boston? I don't know. I've never heard of Boston. Shipping up to Feldspar.
Food.
I'm going through that wiki to find the fucking words that I want to use.
Or, I imagine at a point where it's where there aren't too many people around, preferably none. I lean over to Oxus. So, food for him is probably going to be a problem. How much? Like, once he gets that big,
Once
mean-
he gets that big, I think he'll be able to get his own food.
yeah. But in the meantime, like, how much is he going to eat? Because he's going to have to eat a lot to get that big.
As I,
We shall find out.
Moon's just gonna look back and be like, as I said before, Curie's an accomplished hunter when she's not like this.
I bet your ass I could still hunt like this.
You probably could, Curie. You probably could. You should see her fish. She's quite good at it. Not to mention, she came in with a colorful array of pelts. The orange beaver?
And the green one and the purple one, and they were all real, and he didn't believe that they were real, and just starts rambling about the beavers.
Yeah. So I don't think food should be a problem.
Those weird multicolored beavers from Jazintria.
Yeah. You've heard of them?
I fought a few back when I was still there.
They're rare, but they sell for a decent amount.
Just gotta make sure, stay away from the red ones.
Yeah.
Those bite extra hard.
Okay. It is at this point that you all get a thought in your head. Everybody does. The you all get one word in your head, and it comes quietly at first, but then as it gets said more and more often, it becomes more and more confident, more and more self-aware and identifying.
Gesundheit.
Hvitrfyrn.
It took you that long just to smash the keyboard?
No.
I love you, David.
Using Paolini's ancient language from the Aragon series, this directly translates to white war.
Hvitrfyrn?
Hvitrfyrn.
Hvitrfyrn.
Hvitrfyrn. Hvitrfyrn.
Well, it's the sound. It's not.
Hvitrfyrn. Poor person on the side of the road that was near us, near enough for the telepathic link just to Hvitrfyrn.
Over and over and over, quietly getting more confident.
What is his name?
Kire just starts slowly and quietly, rhythmically saying that over and over as it's said over and over in her head.
And the more you say it, the more loud and confident it gets said in your head.
I need to get some water for this guy. He looked thirsty a little while ago, so.
I think we could go ahead and call a break real quick before, because she's leading you through the city and she gets.
Okay.
We'll call it in just a second. Let me set the scene before we do. She brings you to the front of this like as you're walking through the town, like the more like parts of the city that you go through, you get more towards like a space where you think like would be between where the elves and the humans would live, generally speaking, because it's not exactly cordoned off, like segregated. No, it's the people are allowed to mix, but like people also tend to like group with like people. So they're like groups of elves that like bunch and live together. There are groups of dwarves, groups of humans. This is be like between the spaces where the group of the elves live and the groups of the humans live that tend to group together. This is like in between that space where it's just like a hodgepodge of those two races. And that you brought to the face of this seems to be like a good-sized warehouse. Like, honest to God, it is a warehouse with two giant slide-apart doors, and built into the side of the warehouse off the front is this tiny little house. Tiny little brick home built right into the side of the warehouse. And that's where we're going to pick up as soon as we come back from break. Everybody go get water, get hydrated, all that good stuff. Go to the restroom if you need to. We'll be back here in 5 to 10.
Under the dragons!
Welcome back. We had our bit of break. Everybody's hydrated. Everybody's good to go. So, we have.
pee.
Oh,
God damn it, you
should have taken care of it. We were on break, man.
No, you're good.
Well, shit. We've been at this for 19 hours.
You're
So what are we doing?
good.
What do we do now?
Good.
What do you mean? Now we play the game. Yeah.
Yes, we just got to the warehouse.
Yes. Yes. You're out front of the warehouse, and you watch as she does go up, and she does like you watch as like she takes very careful steps to the front of the double doors. She's like, "Don't you stay back there until they open the door, and then it'll be all right to come forward."
All right.
And it's just she knocks on the door, just. You hear from the inside, you hear like a higher pitched voice. Dad, it looks like there's somebody here. Then you watch as the door, like a smaller inlaid door to this one, slowly just opens up like a normal door. And you see this regular sized door that opens up, and you see this child look out. They look to be human. Pale white skin, dark black hair, just looking out and be like, "Oh, hi Colette. I see you have friends. I'll let Dad know and we'll try to get you in." So she's like, "It takes a while. It takes a while to unlock the traps that he's got set."
Why does he have traps?
Oh, because the things that he works on in here, if anybody else got their hands on them, could be rather bad.
I immediately start looking for alternate entrances.
Yeah, Moon's gonna take a few steps back and see.
Like I'm not pursuing any of them, but like I'm just looking around the building.
Is there a chimney?
Not here. No.
Okay.
Upper level windows.
There are not any, really. This is like a solid metal building. These doors, as far as you can see from you're not actually casing the joint, you're looking like a cursory glance.
Just cursory glance, yeah.
Yeah. You can't see anything from the front, at least. But you watch as the double doors begin to slide open. You see that the doors pull apart. You watch as the same little kid is pushing one, comes around the side and starts pushing one of the doors open. And you see a hand of a normal sized humanoid person just pull apart the door and look out inquisitively before seeing Colette just and fully pushes open the door.
I'm picturing Hvitrfyrn whenever you go to the Ratway in
Yes.
Skyrim. Just all the different locks and mechanisms you hear moving. The doors open.
The doors themselves aren't locked. But as you hear him pushing the door open, you hear all this stuff in front of your feet. You hear as you hear a bunch of things powering down and different magics just disappearing as he opens the doors. Hello, Colette, you brought people to my warehouse. I know, but they have something you might want to see. I have to go back to the bar, so they have questions for you. Bye.
Wait, who's this?
Yes, you haven't introduced him to us.
Yeah.
Right, I haven't. He'll do that for me. And she just backs away.
Right past all of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is because David.
She was at the front of the door and just says
Wait,
bye.
do we still have her bottle?
No.
No.
I did give it back to her. I will say Moon kind of feels bad because he realized that he was probably just pouring out an entire barrel. So he probably slipped her 5 gold whenever she's walking by. I'm just sorry.
Make a perception
just-
check.
What's that?
Moon, make
Nothing.
a perception check.
Just audio stuff on our end.
Hmm.
Who was making the perception check?
Moon.
The moon.
Oh. Good old me.
Good old me, kitty my.
Where's my... I can't. Ugh. I'm bad at this. Okay, yeah.
Oh, even with a +6. All right.
No.
No, you notice ever so slightly as the coins fall back into your pocket as she walks away.
Oh, so she just handed it back to me?
Mm.
Okay. Huh? Alright.
I don't need it, darling. I make enough money on the overhead. It's fine.
I mean, I'd still feel bad
Oh,
for pouring out here.
Understandable, and it's a sweet gesture, but I offered it to you, and I didn't stop you from pouring it out anyway.
That's still. Anywho's. Oh, that Tampico.
So now there's just a door open.
And
There's a man and a child.
A man and a child standing at an open door, beckoning us in.
What's worse than a child? No.
No.
man's in like a thick leather work apron.
Oh yeah, it is a light brown leather work apron. It looks hefty. You can see like his face looks young. His hair slicked back black as well. It's not like greasy slicked back. It's like blown back, and like just like
Explosion blown back or like wind blown back?
like wind blown black. He is a very handsome man. But like you can see, like other than like his younger facial features around his eyes, they look very tired and they look very weathered. Hello, greetings. My name is Artyom. I guess you're friends of Colette. And she said you had something that I might be interested in.
Friends might be a bit strong. We met her earlier, but
She brought somebody to my warehouse that she had just met.
I think she's a friend.
I think you'll find the circumstances are rather unusual outside of that.
Right. Well, I don't like keeping my doors open for too terribly long, so if you would like to come inside, please. You can look, please don't touch. If you want to touch, please ask. If you don't ask, I might hurt you. He is no taller than about any of you. He's not built bigger than any of you. He is like 5'11", $175, and he is offering you into the warehouse, and he's just.
What do you say his name was?
Same state.
Artyom.
Artyom?
What, Daniel?
I was gonna say when he said don't touch anything, ask to touch it. Same statement goes towards our stuff as well.
Fair enough.
Why?
Dorian.
Funny. It's so funny though.
I had to fight to get that sentence out, okay? There was descriptions, there was conversations. All right.
Dorian, keep an eye on proceedings. Keep an eye on materials, components, everything else while we have guests in the warehouse. And you go in, and you watch as the kid pulls. As you walk in, is the first thing you notice is that this place is. It's like the center area for the most part is empty, other than like a big table in the middle, and like the walls are lined with other workbenches and tables and stations. There is like a forge in the back corner off the ways. There's just everything is lined with workbenches and projects going on. As you walk in, you watch as the kid, who you can assume is Dorian, pulls what looks to be this, I'd say about 7 foot tall, what I can only describe as like a surfboard looking object. You know, fuck it, I'm not even gonna. Anybody seen Treasure Planet?
Yeah.
Yes.
This looks like a solar surfer without its sail up.
Ooh.
So you watch as he pulls down the board and as he drops it to the ground, it doesn't hit the ground, it just and floats about a foot off the ground, and he just hops on it and pushes off the wall and just starts gliding across the warehouse.
I am taking note of everything in here.
Oh yeah. Does anybody want to make a perception check?
Oh, Moon's clocking everything. Moon's...
You can try. You can try.
Oxus is looking at everything.
Oh my
cautionarily.
god.
Oxus.
Why not?
The 20s.
Wait, is Curie still tipsy?
Curie's definitely tipsy.
It has disadvantage there.
All right, yeah.
Yes.
Seems about right. You think
She
you
trips
see
over just
something?
looking at the boards.
That's not that interesting.
No,
Okay.
Moon's just clocking everything.
Above tens
Or
we'll
trying
see.
to.
Above tens we'll see stuff. I imagine Curie's focused on the magic wood that's floating through the air with the child upon it. What is this? But no. The moon did a. Oh, the 21 was the perception for the thing, right? So we'll start off with Oxus's 25. All right, bud. Okay. You can see. I would imagine what would be. Where are you looking? The center table or like off to the walls?
I'm looking at the surrounding, making sure we're in a safe, or seeing what harmful is around us.
Ooh, a lot. You look immediately left, and on one of the workbenches, you see what looks to be this big, blocky, like just piece of wood. It looks to be like a giant 4x4 that's about 2 feet long, like a big post. But then, like, that's just the base of it. Then you see, like, onto the corners that have been ground off on the edges to the front of it, there are, like, what looks to be, like, limbs of a crossbow that are, like, pulled from the corners to back to the other corner, like, along, like, the length of it, along all 4 corners, making what looks like this, like, it looks like it looks like this straight on with the limbs on every corner pulling straight back. There looks to be like a front, like a hole in the very front with like a.
I'm getting a
like
Mulan dragon, like firework cannon vibe.
It's a good starting point. And it looks to be, he'll notice you looking over there just to see the first one. He's like, that is special project Dorian is working on. It is, I'll give you demonstration. It's working. Dorian, is ready to go, or do I need to? You want to come do this? It's your stuff. You'll notice the child he's towards the center of the warehouse on the board at this point. He just puts his hand on the table and just has to forcibly turn the board with his feet, struggling to turn it around to face there. Just pushes off the desk and just starts floating that way. So he gets over there and he's like, yo, what, yeah, bolt. And he reaches under the table, there's this little basket. He pulls up what looks to be I would say, a 1-inch diameter metal bolt. It's a big bolt. And he's like, I don't have multi-load functioning work, but this is what it is. And he picks it up, and it has this handle underneath with a very rudimentary trigger looking thing, and then a little latch on top that he cranks back. And as he cranks it back, you watch as all 4 limbs on the piece go from on the thing, and they go poof, they all go up and outward into like a 4-limbed crossbow looking piece. And he loads the bolt onto it, and then he just it through the target that he aimed at, through it and into the wall of the warehouse behind it. That was the wrong target. I still need to work on this, but this is working, sort of. He'll hop back on his board and he'll go back. You watch as it shoots the limbs for the crossbow go back after they fire. It's working. Yeah. With a natural 20, I'll give you one more. Roll a d10. Is there a project that he has in here? Daniel, if you wanted to see another one. 5. Okay. That'll work. As you continue to scan, your eyes get towards the back, and like you see on a back table what looks like it looks to be a sword. Like it looks to be like a regular long sword. And but you're watching as like there's like a machine that's hooked up to it that's like compressing the sword from hilt to tip. And you watch as it like, because you see no notches in it, but you watch as it goes. You watch as the machine grips onto it again and back out to a regular sword.
Extendo blade.
But you're hearing the strain. The nat 20 is what lets you hear this. You're hearing the strain of the machine trying to make it do that. So it's likely not working up to form, but it can do it just with difficulty.
Moon's just gonna pipe up and be like, "Is any of this for sale?"
Potentially. After I get to know you, I'm not going to sell things to people that I do not know.
Oh, of course.
Who else got above 10? Mihangil. Okay.
Low, but yeah.
Yeah, you're over 10, so you get to see something. You gonna roll a d10? Daniel got the crossbow because he rolled a nat 20.
Oh, sorry, I was on my Cenas, but
You're good. 7. You look over and see... this would be foreign to you specifically, because of where you're from. The use of magic has negated the need for technological advancement in the most part. There are still advancements made, but for the most part, people in the
we don't need to resort to something as rudimentary as science.
Yeah, as crass as artifice. But the rest of you would see this and notice. Yeah, with the big old dink right on the forehead. But the rest of you would see this and notice that this is a firearm. This is a rifle. This is a big rifle. You've seen these rifles before. The black powder burn rifles. They are generally fire a slug. This thing, it looks as if like it's not as long as a rifle is, but it is much larger. And you can see next to it, it looks to have like what looks to be. You could probably gather that there are like metal ball bearings lining the table, and you can see like different bags of like wrapped cheesecloth of them like lining the table. You don't know what it is, but
I think I wasn't getting I wasn't zeroing in on any specific thing because I was trying to get an even gaze and not
but this one thing
looking too long at one item.
Yeah, but this one thing that you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. A blunder babushka. Just a moment. I need to drink. Okay. Who else got?
Can't wait till I get reliable talent. Stop these damn low rolls.
Do. Moon, roll a d10. Ooh, roll again.
Hey, girl.
Oh, come on. 9.
9. Yeah. Okay. This one's of interest to Moon specifically. I'm glad you brought it. So, you watch as like you're looking over towards a table, and this is more magical than it is technological in any of the other things that are in this room. You look over as you see this purple bound book with yellowed pages sitting on this table, and you watch as like it's sitting there on the table, but then like these these yellow runes appear beneath it, and then it just through the table.
Oh, the book just fell through the table?
Yeah, and then you just see, then like in your just staring at the table, you don't see it happening above you, but just like it just drops from the ceiling and lands back on the table.
What is...
And then the runes happen again.
What is... Moon knows not to touch, so he's just gonna kind of like get close and point and be like, what is going on here? Is it portal to another dimension, and thus it falling from one to another and then repeat it again, or is it going back and forth through time?
Yes, yes, and yes. A little bit of everything. This is a combined piece of magic and technology that I am trying to allow to create for more easy library access. More like you would take a piece of parchment, like what's this? He takes like a parchment that looks similar to the parchment that the book is bound in, and he writes like, "Who here speaks Draconic?"
Moon.
You two nerds. Okay. So if you were looking at what he's writing, he's writing the title of the book, and it's just like the book is just a memoir. It literally translates to like his name in Draconic, which is like in common it's Glukovsky, the last name, but you see that doesn't translate to anything in Draconic, so you assume it's a name. And then it's just memoir underneath that. But you watch as he writes it in the parchment, and then he crushes the parchment, opens his hand, and it burns and flares, and it's like flash paper. It's gone. But then you watch as the book's sitting on the table, the runes glow again and go, and instead of like falling back onto the table, it into his hand.
Moon's like, I would like to buy that.
The technology isn't perfect. Like if you ever like need to set the book down in order to like pick a different one up or to write notes, it will. And he sets the book down, and it just immediately back onto the table over there. It's not perfect yet. It's not ready. Like I'm glad to see that somebody sees the value in being able to get
magic
books.
is a practice, thus it takes patience and time.
Indeed, it's just
I have much.
This is difficult. This is difficult to perfect. So, when I get it done, if you have a book that you would need transcribed, when it teleports and it disappears away, it goes to a pocket dimension until it is called. So but the paper is the point of the paper is to force it to teleport and to call it at the same time. It is permanently stuck in this loop if it's not being called. So I'm still working on it. And then we get to what would have been Cure, but at 8, Mycena. If you would roll a d10, please. Do the button.
Oh,
A 10?
great home improvement.
I think I know what it is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo gun?
Oh, not the re.
You look over, because this is what's my favorite invention. You look over as the kid on the board, Dorian, pushes his way over to this desk, and you watch as he picks the board up off the ground and he sets it on the table, and he's fiddling with it, and you see like at the back of it there looks to be like this giant metal piece that's like circular, and it flares out of the back of the board, but it's hollow on the inside.
So
You
a
can- you
cone?
also- yes. It's very conical in shape. I'm trying to explain it in fantasy terms. They don't have cones in fantasy. But no.
The
But
turret at the top of the castle, that could be a cone, you know.
I bet you some ice cream salesman has made a cone.
I bet
Well-
you shut up. This is what I bet.
Sorry.
Defend my fantasy.
The cones of Dunshire. You know, that's another popular place of
Yeah.
this world.
Also, witch hats. Those are cones.
Yeah.
Okay, can I move on with the thing?
Conifers, like the trees.
Can I-
I'm listening.
Oh, those are pretty good cones.
Hey, it is
Fine.
Monday. You can listen to him.
Pine cones.
But we're moving on. We're moving on. I was trying to. Okay. Moving forward. You notice there's there's like a metal strip, like a good like a. I could only describe it as like a smaller I-beam, sort of, with like the middle part of it cut out until like close to the end. And you watch as he like slides it along the board, putting the board where the I-beam is cut it down the center until it reaches the very front. And he sets it in and places it there, and he locks it in. And there's this little button on the back close to the cone on the I-beam, and he pulls the board down. And he sets it down, and he just gingerly taps the button with his foot. And you watch as out of the I-beam itself, it like swings up really fast, and I'm gonna make a dex saving throw. See how funny this is. We'll do relative speed of a 10-year-old. Let's say like a 16. That's a 16 dex saving throw. That's fast enough. But it swings up, and he has to like whoop out of the way fast enough. But this pole swings up up top, and you watch as another one drops from the top of where that pole had hopped down into a sail's shape and fashion. And straight up from Treasure Planet, because I take my favorite media and do what I want with it, the solar sail pops out. It is that maroon and orange veined. The sail was maroon, Connor, and it was veined in orange. Those two color combinations are disgusting to you, I'm aware. But that's what it was.
Being colorblind exists.
Yeah. But you watch as that pops out, and he hops on it. He grabs onto like the low bar of the sail and the high bar of it, and he like slowly like turns the low bar, and you watch as it slowly begins to push him forward. And he pulls it back, and it turns him. So he's just using it to guide himself around. Looks like it's working so far. Eventually he'll put it up, but that's what you see.
Oh my god, that's like the coolest thing ever. Is that thing for sale? Can I have one of those? Like, how much is it? Like, I can give you my firstborn. I can like.
Moon just kind of, at the sound of that, Moon just kind of looks over to Oxus. Doesn't say anything, but like, we could
We'll just shoot a sparrow.
telepathically. No, we could give him the dragon for all of this. No, what am I saying? Dragons.
You just hear silence. And then he just turns and looks at you.
Good.
Moon's just gonna shrug. Just like,
So
Can
you
you let
see.
me like get a ride on that thing? Yeah.
Who are you?
I will answer one question at a time. I don't mind if you ride the solar board. Just be careful with it. It's Dorian's favorite thing. Please do not break it. It takes that sail took a long time to make. My name is Artyom Klukowski. I retired city guard and red knight. I I make things. I always have. When I retired, I had enough money to buy warehouse and enough contacts to open business. The things I make, if I sell them, they sell for enough to keep doors open.
My controller just dropped on my laptop, so I don't know what's going on.
I did not understand him.
I think he's also
Can you hear
on
me?
a laptop.
I don't
Yep.
know.
I heard it.
Like my laptop just died or something? I'm not sure.
I can't hear.
Hmm.
at all.
It might be the surge protector I was using died.
Ooh, that would be a bummer.
Yeah.
You good to keep going there, Connor?
Yeah.
Dope.
I'm just on my phone right now.
I can't hear.
You can you not hear Connor?
I can. Can y'all not hear me?
I can hear
hear
you.
you fine.
I can
David
hear
cannot
Connor.
hear you.
The computer monitor's coming back on.
He's on his
Laptop
phone,
looking
right?
good.
He's on his phone right now, David. Apparently, like a surge protector went out or something.
Just don't hear.
Technical difficulties.
While technical difficulties are going on, the entire time everybody was looking at stuff, I think Curie would just be looking at the floating board.
Loading board.
I want to know how that works. Wood should only float in water. How does it do that?
Magic and science.
I can't do magic, but I want to do that. Show me.
I can teach you the absolute basics of the science that are behind the board.
What's a science?
Moon's at the sound of this, Moon's eyes just. You can
Hey, no
teach him the
problem.
science behind it.
I have no problem.
Moon's like, please go into like intricate detail. I wish
What?
to replicate this.
What's a science just between being drunk and not scholared?
Yeah. Science is the study of the world and how we can use its laws to benefit ourselves.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
I only published that book last month.
And I read it last month, yes. I stay busy in the library.
The board works specifically through. Do you understand magnetism and polarity?
Yes.
I know how to throw a harpoon.
Okay. Do you know how, for simplicity's sake, you know how? Do you fish?
Fishing, yes. I know how to fish.
Okay. Do you know how if you use bait or even the correct bait, you could get the fish to come to the bait?
Aye.
Specific? Okay. Do you know how if you use incorrect bait or foul bait, you can force fish away from the hook?
Well, some fish like the foul bait, so it also attracts them.
Some fish, yes. I'm trying to put this for simplicity's sake. Please do not needlessly complicate. Some fish don't like the bait, so they swim away. So, by that same token, if something has a certain magnetism to it, and something has an opposite magnetism to it, they will be attracted to each other. If something has a magnetism and another one has the same, they will try to push each other away. Using what what Vaeo itself, the planet, has its own magnetism. I was able to figure out what type and what polarity it would be, and I used the exact same magnetism in the inner workings of the board. So the board naturally tries to push away from the ground.
So the board doesn't like the baits that the earth that the world has?
In simple terms, yes.
Can I catch the world?
I would like to see you try.
This is just drunken question.
Mihongle's just rubbing his face.
Eventually, I plan on that the conical device on the back of the board. It doesn't work right now, but I plan on putting a bottleneck type of device. So you know how you pour water out of cup, it's fast, it's gone. You pour water out of bottle, it takes time, right? Okay. In a similar vein, I want to put a conical teleporter into the realm of fire, ported into the back of the board, bottlenecking the energy, the heat and pressure energy from the realm of fire into the board to force it forward.
Causing propulsion?
Duh. And utilizing the solar sail, be able to turn direct or even take to the skies.
I feel like why not use the elemental plane of wind? Wouldn't that accomplish the same thing?
Because the elemental plane of wind, the winds change. So in using it, if it bottlenecks like a certain wind, and then it could just stop at any point in time as the winds change a different direction.
That's fair.
At least with the plane of fire, if I'm able to put it deep enough into the plane of fire, then it will be just a consistent stream of propulsion as long as it's active. I did the same with water. Here, look. And he grabs a similar looking green decanter of water with the same symbols on the back, and you watch it. He just uncorks it, and it just sprays water out of it like a hose until he corks it back.
Interesting.
It's connected to the plane of water. It will.
So you make things.
The
Why would what's her name bring us here?
Colette.
Oh, you know of the old hero Adric at all?
Not only does he make things, he seems to be
Um,
rather intelligent. He knows
That's one of
anything.
that's one of the reasons I'm saying it like that. That's one of the reasons we've all gathered here. Was because we have been approached by Adric in a dream.
Adric should be dead.
Well, the dream certainly didn't look like any place on this world that I've seen or heard of. It was featureless, void.
You mean to tell me that a hero from 700 years ago, elf or otherwise, contacted you?
We are telling you that is who he claimed to be.
2 weeks ago, we were all in different parts of this continent, and now we are all here.
I don't know about you, but I had planned on coming here anyway. Well, my family had planned on me coming here anyway.
Can't say I was.
Do any of you know who the Kalashtari are?
No.
What?
Would I?
Maybe?
If anybody who wants to, that has training in history, could make that check. Connor, if you're speaking again, I can't hear you.
Nah.
You can't hear me?
I can hear Connor.
I can't.
Moon got Nate.
I'll leave and come back and see if it's me.
The DM's away.
Hero of the world! Let dragon fire rain!
I was gonna steal the run out. See you later. Oh, Mahangil knows who the Kalashtar is. No.
You're not proficient in history.
I can hear. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Alright, guys, best behavior. He's
I
back.
can indeed.
Good.
Good reference.
Moon.
So we don't beat up the shop.
In all, you can try. In
So wait, we're gonna beat up a nerd and take his homework?
you can try. But no, Moon. In all of your readings of most of the books in that library, like Adric told you, like a good 85% of the books in that library, none of any that you read have mentioned the Kalashtar people. Mihangil, on the other hand, maybe it's just because it's esoteric knowledge that you just learned, like just picking up a book randomly because it looked weird or cool, or maybe in like something that you stole from one of the galas that you've been to. But in either way, you understand the Kalashtar people, or at least what they are. They are a race of once humans that at some point in their history developed such a firm belief in family and such a strong connection with their family that at times they can hear their ancestors or just recently deceased family members in their head speaking to them. Not in like a delusion sort of way, legitimately they can hear their ancestors speak to them. Then he explains all this and he goes, I'm not going to go into the number of greats it would take to get to what he is for me, but I have an ancestor who traveled with Adric, was an adventurer with him. And if anything, if what he tells me is the truth, Adric left the rest of his party to fend off the demon prince in the Feywild. At least that's how he feels about it, if it's true or not.
Well, then that would explain the information that this being, who claims to be Adric, who may or may not be, that would explain his message to us.
And what would that be?
That the barrier. Edit. The reach of the Fell Tower has increased. Each of us has some link to a hero of the past, and that there is danger imminent. It seems that the forces he is trying to hold back are spilling forth. That
Do you know who he serves?
He mentioned a mistress, but he was rather vague.
He serves Zariel. Anybody trained in religion here? You don't have to roll. You don't have to roll if you are.
Yeah.
If you're trained in religion, just let me know. It's just Moon.
Oh, really?
I'm not.
If you would care to explain it, go ahead.
So Zariel was essentially the one who created the what's the pit known as again?
The Devil's Crater.
Yeah, the Devil's Crater. And you know, essentially went against the gods, and they said so be it, and sent her down into the hells. Again, thus creating what is the Devil's Crater. Was this after she was sent or before that he followed her?
It was as she was sent down, as what you would know. As she was sent down, any and all of her followers that chose to stay loyal were drugged with her down into hell.
Oh, so thus meaning Adric will most likely be in hell with so the possibility seems highly unlikely that whoever it was talking to us was Adric.
That featureless void, I wouldn't call it hell, but it sure as hell wasn't any place on the material plane.
No.
It was void, it was black, it was featureless, it was
Nothing.
Wet but not
cold.
wet?
Yes.
So they are that. Generally speaking, when it comes to historical events of any form of devilish being or any being in hell trying to reach out to anybody other than someone in hell, they are normally met with a blasted landscape. So like the vision you would have seen, whatever you saw, would likely have been on a red blasted landscape. If it was not that, that means that Zariel's war that she wanted to fight, or she was sent to, whichever you choose to believe, means that she is losing that war.
And that was the message that he gave us. The war is being lost, that the power is of the demons. I always get my demons and fiends mixed up.
It's devils. Demons
Devils.
and devils.
The power of the devils is increasing, and they're coming. The devils,
Demons. The
the demons, the power of the demons is increasing, and the
Devils make deals with you. Demons kill you.
power of the demons is increasing, and it won't be long before they overrun the surface.
Well, it sounds to me like you have a lot on your plate. If Adric reached out to you personally, then it sounds like he wants something. If you're, like you said, you're connected to the past adventurers.
You said that you didn't believe it could be Adric.
I don't want to. I don't want to because like I said, I have ancestor in head that tells me that he was an asshole. So.
Telepathically, Moon's gonna ask Oxus again. Do we mention anything about Hiviti? Hivi?
No. No.
Okay. And Moon's just gonna go back to the conversation. So, how long ago would this have been? That, well,
What words are you?
I have questions, but I don't know what to ask.
Well, then state them one by one, and I will do my best to answer.
Who else is part of that group that Adric was with?
Well, there are statues to them all over the place. There was a, and you watch as his eyes kind of roll to the back. Sorry. Speaking to me, give me a moment. I'm not going to deal with this. You can speak to them. And you watch as he goes to the back towards this very wiry framed warforged, but you would know what a warforged is. They do exist. They're rare, but they do exist. They are They are a robotic, like sentient robotic people, but this just looks to be like a small skeletal golem of sorts. And you watch as he puts his hand on the head of the skeleton, and like you see this like kind of like purplish black essence like flow off of him and into the robot, and he's like, oh, sorry, he's loud, so he's going to talk to you. I'm not going to translate. This is stupid. And in exactly Artyom's voice, because that's the only way they know that he knows how to speak. Like, yeah, you tell them what you are trying to tell me. I'm not going to deal with that. You watch as the thing stands up, like eyes light up purple as it looks around. You did not tell me you got this thing working. That is not why I brought you here. Speak, fucker. Right. I was just a warrior when I traveled with Adric. Simple man with sword. All I needed to be. The rest of us that traveled, we had our woodland friend who, whenever the demons started coming through directly into the Feywild, and we had to go and get them out when Adric left. They were not best pleased by the fact that when they were able to fully evacuate their people, they were not best pleased at, and he looks at Mihangyo, your people, for not letting her people stay. So she took her people north of the border, and as far as I remember, that's when she left us. But if what I remember before I passed on is to be believed, to create a safe haven for her people, she turned herself into a tree. I think if it's to be believed, she wanted to create a home for her people, and in doing so she sacrificed herself to do it. We had a dwarf with us, which never really happened before because they don't tend to leave their mountain, and if they do, they're not generally allowed back in. He was a studier of the arcane, rare among dwarves as it is, but he in his heroic deeds on the surface, he was given re-entry back into his mountain after our adventures, and we never saw him again. I don't know what became of him once he got back into his homeland, but once he went back in, he never came out again.
Having traveled through that dwarven city, would I have seen any statues to an ancient hero? Would I have any knowledge about him?
You, since it's been 700 years, you can easily surmise that if since he's dwarvish, he is likely past.
Right.
You also would know, trying to be a delegate, you would know like funerary rituals for like the mainline races.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that they tend to build statues only of like kings and people that they see as paragons, which are like dwarven saints, paragons of virtue, of like different things that they uphold. But when they become paragons, it's usually posthumous. Very rarely is a paragon ever made in their lifetime. you would know that there was in their funerary process. They don't really bury them or burn them or anything. They do what they call returning to the stone. From whence they came, they shall return. They literally dig a section of their city out of the walls, like out of a building that either that person was a part of for most of their life, is important to them, or is decided for them because they are a paragon, and then they are placed within the stone and then resealed, and their bodies, as far as their rights state, their body stays as fresh as the day that it was put in the stone, and it helps to further like the strength of the foundation of any building that they go into. Him being a paragon, likely he's within the castle buried, but that's probably where he is. We also had the halfling friend who stayed with us for the longest time. Little bugger had quick hands, but they after saving the world, they didn't actually feel the need to retire. As far as I'm aware, they continued on doing what they do. Just, if it's still active, I don't know, but if it's active, then you might ask for, but don't ask in public, but if you ask about the five, if anybody, Mihangel history, Mihangel will be the only one, I would think.
Would I have read about them at all?
You can make a history check because you're a nerd, yes.
No. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oof.
Get used to it, nerd.
You're racking your brain, but you only ever stole because out of spite. So, Mihangel Moon, on the other hand, at least one of the books in that library might have mentioned the five in the history. They were a group of 5 thieves, all of different races, and they managed to steal the most precious artifacts from every single race.
Oh, jeez.
Just to show that they could, before giving them back to the wrong races on purpose.
Please. Okay.
They were legitimate shit lords.
So they were just with. Yeah, the thieves. Yeah. But I've read about them. Slightly. Okay.
And our only other companion was a Goliath fellow. Rather obviously large as a Goliath is, but gentle of a giant was he. I'm not going to say that he didn't have his angry moments, he absolutely did. I watched him tear men limb from limb on a daily basis, but outside of combat, he was about the nicest person you could ever find. If memory serves to be believed, he went home to the Storm Coast, to where are we? Almondstorp. Storm Coast should be northeast of here. And if I remember correctly, he ended up becoming Jarl of like the Storm Coast itself. Obviously, they lived that long, 700 years. He has very much passed on, but I think all of us, we all passed at our own individual times. I died in my sleep, old age. I was lucky enough to make it out, but that's all of us. 6, including Adric, Connor. Because Adric had told you in the vision that none of you would connect to him in some way.
Adric, the wood elf, I assume druid,
Mm-hmm.
the dwarf mage,
Mm-hmm.
the halfling thief, and the Goliath gentle giant. Jarl, that's
And-
5.
And the Kalishtar fighter.
Kalistar fighter.
Yeah.
Which at his point of living, he would technically have been a human.
And
He was one of the first people that had bonded so deeply with family to create the Kalishtar people.
Was he bald and did he drive a car?
Nope.
Chariot.
Chariot.
Yeah. Moon's gonna again telepathically. Well, first and foremost, did Oxus see the vision of that? What is it? The dragon, baby dragon gave
The
off
war?
of. Yeah, the war.
Yeah.
You didn't see that.
That
was his name?
Like I said, his like he doesn't know how to control his telepathy yet. So like if he says something, you all hear it.
Oh
No. But like the big the like thing of big
Yes,
dragon. Okay, everybody saw
vision.
that.
Yes.
Should I ask telepathically? He's gonna be like, should I ask him about that if he knows anything of that?
Oh, Artyom. Have you been in here all day?
Those buddies. Go back. And you watch as he pulls he's sticking his finger in the eye socket of the fucking the Warforged thing, and he pulls that purpley black essence back into him. He's like,
Moon just says, never mind to Oxus. Just never mind.
Then you watch as the robot goes back to being limp. He talks a lot.
Why do you have a soul of a dead man trapped inside you?
It's not soul. It is the living memory of my ancestors. I can hear all of them. All the
You
time.
Kalishtar?
The,
Ah.
like I can hear my father, grandfather, great-granddad. This just goes. It just goes. Every ancestor I've ever had, if they choose to speak, I can hear them.
And so that would mean when you pass, your son would hear you too?
Yes,
As well?
he can hear me currently. We can talk to each other telepathically. Because we have a direct bond as father and son.
I mean, that's cool.
Am I your father?
Moon's just gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. I don't.
It's terrifying, is what it is.
Yeah.
Artyom. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You're by all means. Go ahead, Nahangil.
Have you been in here all day?
If you're asking about the dragon, I saw it.
Okay. Just didn't know if you were aware.
I did anybody do anything about it? It just flew overhead or what?
It flew away.
Crushing
Dropped some eggs
that's all.
outside.
That's all.
Dropped some eggs outside the wall. We went and investigated. Fought off some wolves.
Did you recover any of the dragon bits?
I got some of the shell fragments, and I believe that feral over there grabbed some of the egg drop soup.
No, feral. Fucking noble can't do shit.
I
She
feel like
can't
we
do
ought to.
that properly.
I feel like we ought to discuss this animosity between Mihangil
But
and
you
Messina.
You heard the story. You heard what happened to my people.
Oh no,
You
absolutely.
guys, high elves. Left
I
us-
had no part of that.
I dare say you walk around with this air of, an attitude of betterment. You are the same.
She
Maybe
snorted.
not
Should we figure our stuff out before we talk to other people?
I'm curious. Who all... You're obvious. He points at Mycena and who you would be connected to. I assume you're from the same fucking forest.
Yes.
Do your people not tell the story of the druid anymore?
Out of character. Am I supposed to know that?
No. But
No?
your people have either just plain forgotten about it or don't tell it for one reason or another. But
Yeah.
your people don't know anymore. Because you're a whole new generation of elves from the one that came from the Feywild. So for some reason or the other, the elders didn't pass the knowledge on.
So wait, are you saying we're all technically somehow related to those that came before us?
I would assume so. If that's what Adric had said, it would probably behoove you all to figure out who you would all be connected to.
I mean,
They don't tell her that story anymore. Or at least
Kure, maybe the Goliath?
Ripping limb from limb does seem to suit Kure the most.
I don't rip my prey limb from limb. I had to save the pelt, and I need some water.
Precision.
Oh, you need water, huh?
Oh, no.
Just make a spray and Curie down.
Hell no, H2O. No.
This coyote looking a little fugly.
Mahangil equated to the rogue?
I resemble that remark.
You resemble it or resent it?
Resemble it.
Okay.
Que no los dos.
Oxys, the fighter, or Adric?
Adric said that none of us.
Oh, okay, so I'm the fighter. Which would make me somehow related to a dwarf?
Seems that way.
Related
You're
is a
the
strong-
arcane one here.
Related is a strong word. It's more about outside of like your attributes that you bring to whatever this.
Was I a dwarf in my prior?
No, I don't think it's private. I don't think it's previous life. I think it's you have like a.
I certainly wasn't the halfling.
Like a shared destiny of sorts between these people.
Oh.
I swear to God, if this is a fucking cyclical narrative, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, I mean,
if you do,
on the bright side, if it is, you won't be around for the next one.
Don't tempt me.
What, and leave your boy?
I'm not going to do that. I'm all these guys.
You're gonna take him with you?
No! I'm not going to leave him. I'm all he has left.
Well, I mean, technically, he's also able to speak to him should he die. No,
Yes,
This is
but a child to deal with that on his own.
No, absolutely. But I mean,
The only person he can hear right now is me. Whenever the patriarch of the family dies, it goes to the next oldest.
okay.
The patriarch or matriarch, whichever it is. Whenever the oldest dies, it transfers to the next oldest. The younger ones can only hear the ones that are alive.
I see.
And he is the last remaining. If I die, he starts to hear everything. And I don't think a 10-year-old needs to hear 7, 10, 8, however many fucking generations worth of us there were in his head. Not with what he's already dealing with, no.
What is he already dealing with? Never mind.
If I trust you with this does not leave this room. Because of who you are connected to, and because I will trust you with this.
I mean, you want to open it?
You don't have to trust us with anything.
I mean,
I kind of have to because you are connected to my ancestor. You directly, Lion Man. You, yes.
You little lion man.
Dorian.
It was
look,
not your fault, but mine.
We really fucked it up this time.
Dorian.
Didn't I, my dear?
Dorian. Lock down the warehouse.
I mean, would you like to speak privately? And then
This
Moon's.
is going to be private.
Well, Moon's just gonna telepathically talk to Artyom. I mean, we can talk like this.
We could, however, this allows me to at least vocalize frustration and not scream in all of your heads.
Ah, that's fair.
This when it's locked, when the warehouse is in lockdown, no divination can enter and nobody can hear outside. One of the first things I had to do to this warehouse. It took me a year to figure that out. But you watch as Dorian heads into towards the door, but there's kind of like a little small office set over by like the other side of the door, and he goes over and he it looks just like a plain glass table. You watch as he just slides his finger across in a runic pattern, and you can hear all the traps outside. And you just hear a low general hum, like that fucking fan over there. Now nobody can hear us outside. Dorian, for some reason, every single voice in my head is telling me to trust these people. If you will, I think you can show them. It will be fine. You watch as Dorian very apprehensively looks at his father and says, "You sure? We just met these people." Listen, son, if you could hear their voices, they don't shut up. They're saying do it. You watch as Dorian very slowly will unbutton the top two buttons of his shirt and pull his shoulder out and show just straight black scales. Draconic black scales lining over his shoulder. And you watch as he turns around and he'll lower his shirt again, or he'll lift his shirt up from the back and it trails all down his back.
Well, that certainly looked painful.
Some days it can be. Most days not so much. What's wrong, Daniel?
My mind's just going, you fucked a dragon? I'm sorry. That's all I can think of.
For some...
Woody.
It's not at all what Oaks would say, but that's why I just was laughing in silence.
Moon will say it. You.
God damn it.
Did you say it, Moon?
No. No, Moon would
Yeah.
never. He's blunt, but he's not that blunt.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and clear this. First of all, if you are thinking what I think you are thinking, no. This is his mother, and he brings this flat, smooth, what you would the perfect skipping stone. It looks with a rune carved in the top of it. He just sets it down, presses it, and
It's just a black dragon.
You watch as this image pops up of this high elven woman. There's a high elven woman. Looks to be very well-to-do, very, very rich in her dress and appearance, but her dress is rich, but it is also militaristic. She is pale-skinned, similar to Dorian, but she has blonde flowing hair instead of the black that his father has. for some godforsaken reason, whichever god decided to forsake us, a dragon has chosen our fucking lineage. Certain members of our family throughout the last 700 years have been born with these black scales. Many of us, as soon as it was found out, were killed. As I'm sure any of you who practice any form of religion might be aware, the deities don't exactly adore the dragons. The deities, the gods' children, the giants, were killed by the dragons. And the gods have sworn revenge on any single worm that they could get their hands on.
I had heard of some of the wars, but not the reasons behind them.
Like, for instance, I assume you, at least, in looking at me, Hangil, had to travel through the Nape to get there? Or the Dwarf, did you go to
Oh,
the Dwarven
no,
City?
no, I went to the Dwarven City.
Okay. Then you passed along the waistline of a Titan.
He looks confused for a moment.
That mountain range is not a natural mountain range. That is a Titan's body that was killed, fell, face down into the ground, and the dirt and stone piled up around it, and has since created mountains in over thousands of years. The nape is where his head and neck is where his head and shoulders were severed. You don't think it's odd how the mountain also perfectly splits down the coast?
No. No, never occurred to me.
That is one of the Titans. The only one that fell on this continent, at least. The other three, somewhere else on the planet. But when the dragons killed the Titans, they angered the gods so severely that it is now in their doctrine of teaching that any dragon that they see or people under draconic influence are to be killed outright. And so because this fucking dragon has decided to choose our fucking lineage, my son can barely go outside.
Sorry, I must have missed it earlier. Was this Artyom or Dorian that had the scales?
Dorian.
Oh, okay. Dorian. Okay.
I love the amount of hats that are piling up over there.
Oh gosh.
Well, he doesn't look like a threat. Why would they think he's a threat?
I think you'll find most people don't take kindly to things they don't understand. You may be an exception, but most people don't take kindly to that which they don't understand.
And most arcane magic is of a draconic nature. And so, you know, who's saying what could happen? Thus, people just wish to
There's not many wizards.
quell it. Yeah,
And you heard a lot of venom when Mahangil said that.
yeah.
So, dragon things tend to get dead around here. South of the border, where they don't follow the pantheon as strictly, because they don't have need to believe in something that could push the demons away. There might be less, but up here, north of the body, north of the Titan, is nothing. Nothing. If it's dragon, it dies. Unless they cower in their fucking houses from the giant one that flies over the city. Where's your balls now? Would you come after my fucking son? Yeah. So please keep that a secret. If they find out about my son, they will come and they will kill him. Please, 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 please don't.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Is there a table?
In the very center.
Plenty.
There's plenty of tables, but yeah.
There's an empty table?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, I said I don't think you have to
very, like, Oaks is just being very hesitant about all this. He'll move the basket onto the table.
Yeah, when I said I don't think you have anything to worry about with this group, I look over at Oxus.
Yep. I guess the feeling is mutual, and I'll lift open the curtain to the basket.
Then out comes crawling the baby boy.
The baby boy.
The baby boy.
The baby boy.
Hvitrfyrn.
This, I guess, is my new son.
Hvitrfyrn.
Is there any interaction between Hivi sensing Dorian?
He has eyes on Dorian, locked. Not in an aggressive fashion, but just in a sense of familiarity, locked on Dorian.
Okay, I'm just kind of watching that and clocking it.
You watch as like Dorian looks at him and he kind of like rubs his eyes, and like when he opens up his eyes again, they are green, like cornea and everything, green with black slits, looking at Hivi.
Can I
Telepathic.
request some water for him?
And you get like a bowl and just water out of the fucking thing, and they're done. Water.
Hivi.
Now to get all the Heolutions.
The Hivi-lutions.
Telepathically to Artyom, Moon's gonna ask if Dorian speaks Draconic.
Since the day this started happening, yes.
Yeah, fluently.
Oddly enough, yes. I had to learn it myself for magical purposes, but it was just ingrained in his head whenever this started happening.
Openly in Draconic, Moon's gonna ask Dorian how old he is. Just to...
He'll respond, I am only 10.
In Draconic?
Hmm?
Is yours okay? Oh, any change in Hivi?
Hivi can respond in like draconic thoughts at this point.
Okay, but not words.
But not really words.
Okay.
So, this is Hvitrfyrn.
Hvitrfyrn.
Hvitrfyrn. This is Hvitrfyrn.
Just call him Hivi.
He is Hvitrfyrn. He was just born while we were out at the eggs.
It looks like he was just born like a couple of hours ago.
Yes.
If that.
I really haven't had time to process it. That's... Yeah.
I'm glad they locked down the fucking warehouse.
You would not have known if you didn't.
Oxus.
Yes, Mihangul.
Go ahead and show him your arm.
Okay.
You
I
are
unwrap.
No.
And unwrap.
No.
And unwrap.
No.
And unwrap. Where the full tattoo engraving etching is revealed.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
What
A
does...
fucking rider. Oh my god.
What?
That is the that is the mark of a rider. Riders were people who, for whatever fucking reason, a dragon at birth, or whenever they chose, would choose a being, would choose a person, and bond with them, psychically, mentally. They would bond with them permanently, and they would grow together as friends, companions, and family members, however it ended up being. But no.
I always assumed that to be a folktale.
That's pretty cool.
Yet, it's not. Sorry, I get interrupted.
Mycena said that it sounded cool. Why is it a problem? You might need to get closer to the mic.
Does each dragon have a rider?
No. Specifically, the chromatics try not to have riders, unless the person that they are bonding with matches their level of cruelty. The fact that I don't feel any cruelty coming off of you as a person, and this little baby has bonded with you, it means something. It means you probably saved it from a worse fate that it understands. So.
Or Oxus hasn't fully shown his color.
I have known you for 4 hours, Moon.
That's very true.
I can assure you he is quite ferocious in combat.
But
Oh, I've seen.
that was...
He is ruthless.
I'm guessing that is why we were brought here, as well as other things.
Colette saw his
you,
hatching.
you seem to know a lot.
Yeah, this makes a lot more sense as to why Colette would bring you here.
So now we have 2 secrets that can't.
For what it's worth, I won't tell yours.
The fourth is
I won't
what we
tell
won't tell you.
yours. Go ahead and start wrapping back up.
It's probably for the best. However, here, let me give me a moment. And he goes and he grabs like a scrap of leather from over next to the forge. Let me see your hand real quick.
Hold out my hand.
He just looks at it, stares it down. And so, I'll have something ready for you by next time you come back this way. I would assume if Adric decided to reach out to you, and all of you are bonded in whatever manner you are to the heroes of old, then he probably means for you to, one, just stop the demon incursion in general, which, work cut out for you and all. But you should also probably go and try to convince the other towns and town leadership. I would suggest easiest path probably would be from here, head northeast towards the Storm Coast. Head to the town closest northeast, and then work your way through the Storm Coast, and then back around into the rest of the northern continent.
I know southeast is Havrhog. I don't recall the city to the northeast.
And for the moment, neither can I.
Long
There's
day
a
of work.
smudge on the map right on that city's name.
Yeah. It's a coffee stain.
A little bit of grease.
It's definitely a coffee stain. It's the one. It's the work desk. It's where he has his coffees.
Which city is that? Is that this one?
I believe it was Kitesdale.
That one?
I think it's this one, because he said along the coast.
Yeah, head here. Head to the town northeast, and then head along the Storm Coast.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this one then. Down.
Yeah. So it's here, and then you go here, and then travel to this one here, is what he's suggesting. And then you can find any number of towns that are along this riverside, or you can just go from here and get passage to cities along the storm coast
Mm-hmm.
until you get back to Haverhog.
In which case, we gotta fight a sea monster.
Well, I believe that town is
It's just
Volkgardberg.
text. But the bonds that you share with these heroes is interesting to me, at least. It's beyond your skill set that you would be bonded to them. It's on a personal level, something that you as people connect to them with.
Well, Moon's like, well, in any case, then, and you can just leave and be like, what do you know of this? And show the little, like, bracelet kind of made out of, like, fossilized tentacle. Do you know anything of this?
I don't specifically know. I do know that him who likes to fucking talk. He says that that the dwarven guy had a similar like necklace. I guess it was just a leather cord necklace with whatever that same kind of thing is. So if there's anybody to ask, it would be his fucking corpse. But the dwarven city would hold answers best, as far as I would know. Which I don't know why the dwarven city would have tentacle things. It makes no fucking sense with their underground.
Dwarves hoard more than cats do. Let's be real.
Getting in there is going to be a nightmare for most of you.
I mean,
He's got the point. It's
education purposes? Do they grant
They
visas?
don't like outsiders.
they give out education permits as long as you have a permit from another place. They're very fucking picky about who they let in.
I mean, I could get one from the Red Library. Get one from the Red Library.
If you can fucking find the red library, sure.
Oh, is it hidden?
No, it's you can see it on the map. That is generally where it is. Yes, but finding your way through that fucking forest is unless you're flying. If you're flying, you could find it.
Not to mention, we would have to either pass through the dwarven city to get there, or through the nape.
We could go back the same way Kure came from. Kure and I. The little fjord that we sailed into, Kure.
Oh yeah, we took the
Just
boat.
I cannot deal with this. Give me a second. Here. He pulls out like a jar of what looks to be like glowing, like greenish teal, teal fucking pills, and he just pulls one out. He said, "Open your mouth. Open your fucking mouth."
Who, me?
Curie.
No, Kira.
Oh.
Ah.
Right down the fucking throat. He did. You immediately feel better. It is a baby pill of lesser restoration.
Baby aspirin.
Basically. Magic aspirin.
Yeah.
Oxus, with your connection to he who likes to fucking talk, I don't care what your name is. That's what I'm calling you. It's fun.
Well, I was about to ask, but I think that answers my question.
Maybe. What I'm going to call him, I don't care at this point. You're living rent-free in my head. I'll call you what I want.
So you're arguing with the memories.
Yes.
How can they formulate an argument?
I wish I fucking knew. But they can, and they do. But, were you ever... If this is personal, did you ever lose anybody? You don't have to speak if that would be a connection. It's the most prominent connection in his life that ever happened.
Yes.
We'd leave it at that then. I wish it was as simple as going beyond just hitting things for you, rabbit lady, but
I'm not just good at hitting things. I can hunt things. I can fish things. I can lift heavy things. I can I can do other things than just hit things.
No, she's quite resourceful.
A little bit of a hangover headache going on for Kira right now. Just, ugh.
Moon's just like, I wouldn't have made it, probably, if it went for her on the journey. Would have been lost. Wandered aimlessly.
And I would imagine the connection with the wood elven friend over there, that she would let me take a shot in the dark. Do you feel underappreciated by your own people? So did
Yeah.
she. Hey, look, I found the fucking connection. It's great. Hey. I don't like being a therapist. Well, I told you what to do. I know I gave you don't tell you what to do. Nah. I gave you options. I told you what you could do. What is likely, what is wanted of you. If you would be so kind as to take this with you and give it to Colette on the way out, tell her she fucking owes me. And he gives you like, just throw it in, any one of you, whoever wants to catch it. But it's like, it's a package somewhere around like this big, and like, it just looks like a plate of metal when he hands it to you.
Moon will go for it, but because he's not very...
We lost you there. Or I did, at least.
I heard not athletic.
Oh. Moon will try and go for it, but because he's bookish, he'll probably drop it.
It just clatters on the ground. And it's fine. It's what it's made for.
Oh, okay.
It's made to be dropped.
Is it heavy?
It's
Moon's
made
gonna pick
to made to be struck.
it up. Is it heavy?
Not particularly. It's heavier than you think it should be, but it's not exactly heavy itself. It's like it's a thin plate of metal, and you don't think it should weigh as much as it does, but it's not exactly heavy.
Okay. Luxus? I'm just gonna hand it to you.
I pick it up
That's
Yeah.
with one hand.
that cost her 1,500 gold pieces.
Well,
She's already paid up front, so she's just expecting it. If you could just drop that with her, please.
And where is that to be?
Her bar.
Sure, we
I
go
would
to the right
assume-
place.
I would assume you would know where.
Colette's bar. We passed it on the way out of the city. I think I remember which one it was.
You mean we get to have some of that alcohol again?
She did invite you back. If it did that to you, I don't want any.
I don't think you need any more, Kira.
But it was so good. I just want another taste.
Well, that first pill was free. If you come back here for any more, I'm going to have to start charging, because they do cost me to make. And with my magic being what it is, I don't exactly get many customers.
I mean, don't you kind of have the entrance bombed?
Yes,
I glance over at it.
I don't say the fucking problem. There are things in here people do not need.
But how are you going to get customers?
Through references. You have to have membership to get in. It's like a Costco.
What's a Costco?
What is it? Costco. What is a membership?
That membership is a known thing. Certain places you can.
Like the members on a ship?
No. You pay like a subscription. You pay.
Subscription.
You're on a ledger.
Down and went Alice after it.
They put you on a ledger. You pay them every so often, monthly and annually, and for your payments, you get certain benefit.
Why not just do a single payment? for what you need, and then pay again what you need next time.
They want to ensure they get money. I think Moon here knows a thing or two about it. I'm sure your libraries have subscriptions and membership fees.
Would someone buy a subscription to like a
No, you're
sword?
good.
Sorry, yeah.
A sword, no. Sword would probably be a one-time fee, but any
What's about the
like
tavern?
a library, for example, the information there is constantly updated.
Who needs a library?
Okay, think of it like this. Think of it like this. You build up rapport with a shop owner, yes? You have an armorer that you go to, I would assume. So you go to that armorer to get the upkeep on fixed. You become regular customer, you get discounts. Similar, you build up rapport with me. I allow you entry, you get to buy things. Meh.
So the sale.
Good old Tampico shake.
No, you're fucking.
Good old Tampico shake.
There wasn't much left, so as big as this is, it shouldn't be too terribly strong.
As long as you don't feed it to baby boy.
I guess we'll go take this back to Colette's bar. Lead the way, Mahongil.
Would you mind?
Before any of you go, I have something I would like field tested. If anybody would mind, please.
What is it?
Okay. I don't think any of you arcane people could use it, but it might hurt a little bit to use. If you haven't built up a little bit of muscle, then you probably could use it as well.
Probably one of them two then.
What is it?
Walks over. The rifle. That's not exactly a rifle. This we just call it the blunderbuss. It is big. It just shoots these. He holds up a cheesecloth with full of the pellets, the ball bearings. It does not use black powder like normal firearms. No, it is
Normal what now?
What, Connor?
No, you said Mahongil hadn't heard of firearms.
Right. Firearm. Oh, you're from the fucking. Are you all the way from the fucking Elven capital?
Why? What do you take me for?
Somebody who doesn't know how to appreciate craftsmanship.
I know a good item when I see it.
Do you? What in here catches your eye?
Here.
I list off everything I find to be in order. What I perceive to be the order of value is the how much I resell.
Naming them at numerical value and not at their. Okay. Well, firearms use a concentrated blast in a tube, black powder behind the ball bearing. When the powder is ignited, it creates a pressure behind the ball and it goes out the fucking barrel.
Couldn't you do that just as well with magic?
Yeah, but for some people that can't use magic, like some people in your group here.
That's why I use my hammer.
This is a different modification for a regular firearm. Smaller round of pellets firing out of the front, packed in a tightly pieced ball. Does not use black powder like regular. Remember when I was telling you about the portal to the plane of fire? Bottle that you
That's what's your...
Yeah, in the very watch, and he'll break it apart, crack it open, sort of it's not a break action, but he'll break it apart so you can see. But in the base, up against where the barrel would be placed against, there is a red rune. It's a very short red rune, and so whenever you do this, and he hits the trigger on it, you watch as it flares out like a flash fire, real quick and disappears. whenever the trigger is pulled, it will ignite the black powder that's in these satchels with the rest of the load, and it'll just fucking go. Just make sure, whoever's going to use it, make sure when you load it with the knotted part of the T-cloth goes in last. So put the rest of it in, and that way the powder is concentrated at the back, and it just goes. Because you put it in the other way, it might blow up in your fucking hands. Don't know yet. That's why I need it tested.
So load it backwards so you can test it.
Don't load it backwards.
I'm not going to use it. You said one of the strong ones.
Fine. Okay, here.
Do you have a target?
Yeah, the same one he put the bolt through.
I am a fan of scientific inquiry. Kind of. Yeah.
You gonna try it?
Moon would like this. This is something
Moon's
new for
got
him, and
the
he's all
shotgun.
he's all
Woo!
for new experiences. So
He'll break it back in, and then he'll show you how to load it. So he'll pull the barrel pointed up, and then he'll take the cheesecloth, and like drop it in from the top. So you hear it go thunk, and hit the bottom.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
with the knotted end facing the bottom, correct?
Knotted end facing top, like facing
Knotted end
outward.
facing top. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's like, think of it like a cheesecloth. You put the powder on the bottom, ball bearings,
You're right.
and you just fold it up.
You're,
So,
gotcha.
so then he's like, so you keep. This is rule for everybody, even people in stream. If you own fucking firearm, keep finger out of well, unless you are willing to destroy what gun is pointed at. Nah.
See.
You would just aim it, point it at target, put finger in well, pull trigger only at something that you wish to be dead. Eh? He hands it to you.
Okay.
If somebody walked past your door.
What am I rolling here?
It's just roll d20 plus dex because you're not proficient.
13 plus 3. Okay, 16.
Yeah, you get it to function, fire as it should. It just.
What happened? Messed up.
I saw like somebody pass by his door on the way, like, and he just, all right, good, and we're just gonna go. That'll work. You're muted, homie.
We're good.
Good thing we have cameras, I guess. But no, you aim it, fire it up at the target, and it just target cut in half. Blown the top end off of it.
This is just like.
You said it might hurt the arcane users in the group?
It could, but he used it pretty well. Generally, anybody trained with martial combat would be able to hold this and handle it pretty well, but he fucking did it fine.
I don't have any sort of combat training aside from knife and swish.
But you got it to work. Statistically, whoever's going to be taking this, it is a shotgun. It is just called a blunderbuss. Whoever's gonna, like, you might want to type this up because it's not under any regular item. Whoever's going to take it.
I don't think Kirei will. It's too loud for hunting.
I was about to say, yeah, Kirei wouldn't.
What you mean?
It'd mess up. No, it'd mess up the pelt too. Yeah.
Just primarily.
Yeah, just put smaller BBs in it. Use it on birds.
True.
Go ahead, David. Type it up.
This Scuttle Blunderbuss has a range of 20 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
No, 30-60.
30-60?
Yeah. 30-60 for this one. Connor, that's only 10 yards.
I know.
And I can hit shit at 30 yards with mine.
With a modern shotgun.
Yes. Why I said 10 yards and 20 yards and beyond 10 yards disadvantage.
Okay.
Damage wise, it does 2d8.
2d8 piercing.
Mm-hmm. It has a misfire score of 3. And a reload of 1. So rolling a 3 or lower on the die will cause it to have a mishap.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have it then.
And it needs to reload after every shot.
You've seen my rolls.
Yeah. He does have other ammo that he wouldn't mind tried out.
Dragon's Breath?
Moon's all for it.
Not Dragon's Breath yet.
Moon
but
is all
something
for the
that-
furthering of
something-
science.
Something that might help. I only have 2 of these, and he's holding up like little metal canisters that look like they just barely fit down the barrel. They go in flat side down, so the rounded side faces outward. Okay. These will not do damage.
That's not loading.
Will not do damage, but they are. Does anybody know the spell Fairy Fire?
No, but
Perfect.
I know what. I
Okay.
assume.
This is like a canned version of that. When it fires, it just goes. It should pop out neon orange powder everywhere. Should make everything easy to see and hit.
Mycena does.
Yeah.
It's just like a technological version of that.
Okay.
I
How
only
much?
have 2 of them.
How
regular
much?
shot?
Regular shot do I have? Yeah.
Regular shot, you should have 10. 9 after the test, so you have 9 shots left. Just would like it field tested because I have too many projects I'm working on, and he points to the very back of the wall where there's like a noticeable absence of a table. Like there's a special project in the next room that I'm working on. So, yeah, if you could get that to Colette, field test that for me. Hey, if you just record the results of the tests, how well it did, how well it performed, if it went poorly, I can readjust it to make things, and I will compensate you for your time. In whether it be money or in items or other field tests that I have that I would like done.
Now, what about that one? When I point at the crossbow.
That is Dorian's personal thing. It's the first item he has ever built, and he chose to go above and beyond with item. It's not 100% ready yet. He has an idea for a multi-load system for the crossbow, to where it would have like a giant rectangular cartridge that would fit about 5 bolts that he could stuff into it, and it would like just auto-load it between every shot. It's supposed to be an auto-loading portable ballista, more ballista than crossbow. It's heavy and it hurts. So statistically, if anybody wants to know, it has the range of a longbow and does twice the damage of a heavy crossbow with an auto-loading 5, but it takes your entire turn to reload it. So when you run out of those 5 shots, it takes action, bonus action, movement to sit there and reload the damn thing. But you get 5 turns of this is gonna hurt, or 5 shots worth of this is gonna hurt.
What if I action surge on that turn to reload it?
Then you've used your action, bonus action, and movement. So long as you stand still, you can do it.
You can fire again. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not really, because if you use your action to fire the 4 of the bolts, like if you had 4 bolts left, you could fire all 4 bolts. You'd have to action surge in order to fully reload it again. So if he needed to reload, he could use his action, bonus action, movement to reload.
No,
then
I
have
would-
to
yeah.
surge to fire again.
I was saying he could, like, with an empty magazine, take an action, bonus action, and movement to load it, and then action surge to fire.
Yes, you could. But it is not, like I said, it is not ready yet. He has not built cartridge to hold everything. But it is impressive to say the very least. This thing, it hits like the city wall ballistas. The giant ones that they set up, similar, slightly smaller package, but it hurts. Connor's looking up actual ballista.
I think it's 3d10.
Yeah, an actual ballista is 3d10. This does 2d10 because it's twice the damage of a normal crossbow. Because the bolt is so fucking huge.
Sorry, 3d12 plus 9? That doesn't sound right.
This does 2d. This does 2d10. 2d10 damage, and it has a strength. It has a strength requirement to wield. When it's fully finished, it'll have a strength requirement. As is, if you want to fire it single, it doesn't. But no. Whenever that's finished, I'm pretty sure he would like it field tested, but that's not done yet. Just the blunderbuss. And as a DM, the sorcerer has a blunderbuss. That's mildly terrifying.
Bonus action spell. I don't have that though, but
Yeah.
if only.
Not yet.
Quicken spell.
We might not get to that.
What you mean?
He's just gonna switch over to a fighter so that way he can shoot a lot more. Fuck the magic. We're going shooting, boys.
But
Or it's not that. It's
But if any of you use a bow, I have something that might be able to help. Just to thank you for helping me field test as like a installment, like a first payment. If any of you uses a bow,
I can use a short bow or a hand crossbow, but
do you have a bow on you? I don't have bows with me. I could just help with the other ones. Okay.
unless I gesture to Kyure.
What?
Use. Never mind.
Stop shooting! Kire, stop shooting people.
For you two that have the bows, Oxus and Mihango, he takes a look at the both of you and is like, I think this for you, and he grabs a bundle, so 24 plus 1 arrows for Mihango, just as like an advance payment to help. And for you, and he takes your bow, Oxus, and he bends that shit over his knee and through his leg, and he unstrings it. This fine, this whatever. Nah, he just fucking throws it across the warehouse. Yeah.
You said 24?
Yes, it's a bundle. This, and he pulls out what looks to be a different kind of threaded cord. Material somewhat similar. I have enhanced it with metal and magic. You can hear it, so just let me string it. So he strings back up your bow, and he struggles with it. He struggles to string it because your bow is fucking... It's a long bow, big bow.
Go help push it down.
3d10.
Yeah, and you get it on there, and it snaps in to like where it's supposed to be immediately. He's like, now listen. So normally when you would like fling the horsehair, like it was a horsehair strung bow. Normally when you flick it, it's just a pwong, pwong. You fling this one, and it just twang, twang, like a very metallic twang to it.
Yeah.
This is going to take a lot more to pull now. It's going to take a lot more power to pull this.
Okay.
But it should hurt quite a bit more. So your normal longbow goes from, is a D10, right, for a longbow, or is it D8?
D8.
It is a D8.
Okay. Then your die is gonna go down to a d6, but you get 2 of them.
2d6, yeah.
2d6
Awesome.
longbow. But it now has a strength requirement to use.
Okay.
Which your strength is.
19.
You're fine.
Woohoo!
How do the rest of you combat? You have magic.
Magic.
You have what looks to be a giant stick on your back that you hit things with. You look like you slash and stabby things. The both of you do, actually, but she does druidy magic, I would get.
So is my attack with the longbow now a dex, or is it still, or is it now strength, or is it still dex?
It is dex to hit, add your strength to damage. That's the composite string and all that goodness. We're gonna field test this one as like a home thing, but you have like a general sense of where to go, what to do, and how to do it. And with that, they bid you farewell. And he unlocks the warehouse, and you hear everything powering down. Doors are open, and you are all led outside.
Mihangul, where are we going?
I was down the road this way. I believe it should have been that building that we passed. I mean, it's the one she slipped out of whenever the dragon attacked or flew over. I assume that's her bar.
Moon's just gonna point and be like, "It's that one," confidently, but having no idea where. No, wait. Is it that one?
Here, do you smell the booze you
I was about to
so
say.
enjoy?
I was about to say. Do I get a waft of the booze like the trail whenever she left?
I'd say you can make your survival check with advantage. Find it.
With advantage?
Yeah, to smell alcohol.
Am I making some sort of check?
And to hear rabble rousing. I don't think you need to at this point.
She said the bar was closed for the rest of the day, so there wouldn't be any.
No, but she said she was. Oh yeah, it's fair. No rabble rousing, but no, it's your guidance of where it is generally, and her smelling that potent alcohol. Yeah, you're fine. You make it there, and so how did it go?
We got your thing.
Ooh.
Moon's just gonna hold up the like big beady eyes.
Oh,
Like, look at it.
I can see it.
He shares knowledge. I like him already.
So yeah, we'll point that thing at anybody.
Oh no.
Moon's gonna like. He told me to point it
Down
down
the
and
ground.
not-
Generally, yes, yeah. Or if you can stow it some other like this, just keep it pointed away from anything.
Moon's
that-
just gonna tuck it under his.
Ooh, be careful.
No, I'm kidding.
Is Moon wearing some kind of like robes or something?
Moon's got like cloister. Yeah,
Did
so
you do the
Moon has,
Matrix,
like-
the Matrix trench coat thing?
It's just on the inside of the coat.
He's got like full robe. He has a few things underneath, but it's mainly like a undershirt, and then like
shotgun.
shorts or like capris almost. But for the most part, it's just like collegiate robes, like scholarly robes, that just straight down.
Alright. She takes that that plate that you gave her. She's like, he told you how much it cost, right? 1,500.
Yeah, we didn't drop it.
No, I don't care if you did. Watch what it does. As she places it up against her chest, and you watch as it like the only part of her skin that you can see, it begins to like it just falls into her skin, and you can watch as like a black line that matches like the shape of the plate. It like collides with her chest, and it makes a brand new tattoo that you can see. Remember the mage armor thing that I had to do for the wolves?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. And like she just like raises her hands out, just and like a full set of half plate is now covering her body.
Oh.
Whoa.
So you ate that, got a tattoo, and then made plate armor.
So wait, you're saying we could have taken that?
Oh no, I don't. It wouldn't work for you.
Why?
It works because of the gift that I've been given.
Oh.
My ability to summon implements of death or implements of protection at a moment's notice.
Gotcha. Who's to say I can't do that?
Good. It's fine. Take your dagger. Try it.
Teach me.
Just don't push your dagger into your arm. That might go really poorly.
I mean,
Or do. You should try. For science. The science you speak of.
I mean, I've done. You know, Moon will just take out his claw and just kind of like nick himself a little bit and be like, I mean, yeah, I've done.
Have you done it with a dagger? For science?
It's not for science. I know what's going to happen. I know it's under.
Well, repeatability is an important part of science.
True, yeah, but I'm not carving up my arm process.
No, I wasn't suggesting.
That's what. You know, what cadavers
Use good
are for.
scars, tell stories.
What cadavers are for? What's this?
What is a cadaver?
Dead body.
Used for science,
Okay.
but still dead body.
But can you test if it becomes a tattoo on a dead body?
We're not going to test that on me.
I wasn't suggesting. I was suggesting him.
Well, we're not doing that either.
I mean, no, blades don't tend to turn into tattoos when you put them in people's bodies.
I'm the exception. You can tell she's sloshing it a little bit. Having her some Tampico.
Yeah.
Cool.
David, I might have to dip.
That's I think we're about to
Okay.
end it up anyway. With
Cool.
y'all about to head out towards the next place.
Please rest.
Yeah, you can rest if y'all want to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I give you rooms. Don't worry about it. With the shite we've been through, don't worry about it. Just go upstairs.
I go to wherever I've been staying to gather my equipment, if nothing else.
Yeah. Easily done. Pay up whatever tab you had, whatever was left over, and then shipped off the box.
Can we stock up on meat pies?
Yeah, can.
Well, I was gonna say we put them in the
In the,
cooler, but
I don't think they'll
those
last.
wouldn't last. Yeah, no, never mind. We don't
Put 'em
stock
in the
up
cooler.
meat pies.
Is it all one compartment?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't put it in the cooler.
Can I have some of that drink to go? I got my own flask. That was my
I
cat
don't
knocking
think
over my
you-
monitor, by the way.
I don't think you need to. I don't think you need anymore.
But it was so good. I'm not even drunk anymore.
Can you at least
Just
tell us the
throw
name?
two
Because
stools.
I know exactly what he gave you.
Can
No.
you at least give us the name of it?
What,
Can
me
you at least-
alcohol?
Yeah. Or is it special?
Vanya
about-
Ale.
No, it's just I just call it me pirate. The pirate. It's what it is to me. I made it, so it's
Oh, it's homemade.
yeah. All the
Oh.
alcohol in this place is.
Oh,
Other than like the beers and stuff. For some reason I can do liquor, but I can't do beer. I'll figure that part out. Mo should know, but Mo's too busy fucking cooking. Y'all go up and head out for rest. The evening, you can hit the long rest button, and that's what we're going to call it. We're going to start the next session with y'all all waking up. So everybody here and the stream is aware there's not going to be a game next week. We have 2 players heading out on a little mini vacay, and my own schedule is getting flipped around for this coming week. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to play this upcoming Monday. This has been 2D4, our campaign 1 come hell or high rolling.
Thanks for joining us.
You all have a good night.
Toodaloo.